I'm clicking go live. All right. You can take it away, Al.
Alrighty, it is time. We are here at the draft hall. The Blockey Hockey Creator League about to get underway. We are super stoked. I will be your host tonight, Al Fresco. I'm joined beside me with BHL Commissioner Youppi.
Hello,
Youppi, how we
hello.
feeling tonight? Are you
Bro,
excited? I'm excited. I'm
I
so
I am
hyped up.
I am ecstatic. This is an opportunity that we never really expected to come to us at the BHL. And I think the BHCL is going to be a super fun event for everybody participating, everybody watching.
Yeah, I'm so excited myself. Cannot believe we are here today. It only felt like 5 years ago. I just joined the server and had no idea what I was doing, and now look how far we've come. I'm super excited. Everyone here dripped out in their suits, looking great. We're all super excited to get this underway. Let's just jump into things. I would first like to thank all of the creators for the opportunity. Obviously, Carl for setting things up. We really appreciate it. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. We could not thank you guys enough for this opportunity. So let's get into the teams. The teams tonight, just going to be introduced. I'm just going to go down the draft order. So picking first, we have the Los Angeles Earthquakes, owned by Will Neff and TGF 101. Youppi, do you want to go into the background of TJF a little bit? Kind of show what our viewers
Yeah.
a little bit more about our team manager, not
Oh
just our
yeah.
creator.
Our former commish as well. Shout out TJF. TJ is a very historically good manager in the league. He's one of the best. He has I believe, 2 Jim Gregory trophies to his name. He's also just an overall very solid defenseman for every team he's played for. Great role player, and he's gonna complement whoever he gets with that first overall pick very well, in my opinion.
Yeah, that first overall pick, extremely valuable. I mean, there's quite a few players that we can take in there, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's go next down the list. Picking at number 2 overall, we have the Nebraska Popcorn, owned by Nolan and Brunlin. If you want to dive into what Brunlin has done in the past, he has been a very accomplished player in the BHL,
Yeah,
but recently has been more on the older side.
yeah. I mean, as a manager, he's been doing well. His team, the Orlando Storm, last season did win the regular season President's Trophy, so he has that to his name. He is historically one of the best players in his earlier seasons, but as of late, he is more of like a role player, second liner, like a depth goal scorer. Um, so there's not I'm not expecting a ton out of him, but I think that he will be able to make the right pick with number 2, and I trust that he's going to be able to build a competent team around himself and his second overall pick.
Absolutely. Moving on yet again, at number 3, we have the Paris Pigeons, owned by Ludwig and ohLuvv. ohLuvv, a current vice commissioner on the staff team. Me and Youppi know very well. Uh, Youppi, what does ohLuvv bring to the table for the Paris Pigeons?
I mean, he's coming off of a Norris win last season in the BHL, which, if you do not know, that's for the best defenseman in the league. So that alone should tell you that he is a great player. And the fact that he's picking at 3rd overall, he's going to make a dangerous team with whoever he gets on his team. Because he's going to be able to shut down defensively. And if he gets like a high level offensive player to pair with him, that team's going to be scary.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't really
I
know what else to say.
cannot
That
I
team's going to be
cannot wait.
dangerous.
I cannot wait to see how this draft pans out. We have owners or team managers of different skill levels. There's so many different things that can happen. You can formulate it as much as you want, but what happens here tonight is probably going to be extremely unique and will be not planned on paper at all. Moving on to the number 4 overall team, we have the Ohio Otters. Um, this is owned by Foolish Gaming and also team managers, the Money and Packers. Do you want to kind of get into that, like
Yeah.
situation wise? There are
I can
two team
explain what's going
managers.
on there. So Damoni is going to be like the primary team manager Think of him as like a traditional team manager that isn't actually playing on the team, whereas Packers will be filling in the role of like the team's starting player. Both of them are going to help each other in managing the team. It's not going to be like a one man job for Damoni. I'm sure that Packers will still help, but it was more of just like a balancing act because we did want Damoni to manage the team. He has a great history. At least over the last couple seasons, he's had a good history. He started a little rough, but he's definitely improved as of late. And Packers is a great upcoming talent that I'm going to be really excited to watch to see how the team builds around him going into the draft.
Yeah, it should be fun to see. Packers a little bit like newer to the owner side of things. We'll see how that shapes out. Moving into the bottom half of this draft order, you got your top half, which is your quote unquote worst players. You can kind of say that, kind of not. We go into the bottom half. We have the Malibu Marshmallows owned by Fuslie and Luke. Luke, obviously an accomplished player in this league, and obviously an accomplished player when it comes to the staffing team. Youppi, you know him very well.
Yeah, I mean he's a great friend of mine. I played on teams with him in the past. He's a great player, and he's the type of player that you want to start a team with. He can do everything. He can score goals. He can play defense and do everything in between. He's a great leader on a team. So I think that the any Marshmallow fans out there, you guys should be ecstatic to get a player like him leading your team. Going to the draft, I really feel like he can't miss with this pick. There are a lot of great players, and being in like a top 5 position where he's as good as he is, his team is destined to be one of the best teams in the season.
Yeah, it's just star-studded power all throughout. I can't say enough about the team managers in a positive light. Moving on to our number 6 pick, we have the Sacramento Surge, owned by Wally Bear and Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky, a goaltender, a little bit of a change for team managers. Obviously been the best goalie in history if you want to jump into
Yeah,
things, what he's
I
done as an owner as well.
I mean, there's not even really much else I have to say other than that he is the greatest goaltender in Blockey Hockey history. That's kind of undisputed at this point. Um, it's really there's no competition at this point in his career. There are some goalies that maybe currently are close to him, but when it comes to his all-time resume, I think he has like 10 Vezina trophies, which are for the best goaltender of the season. So Wally Bear, I know he's a big. He's been very involved so far. I'm sure he's gonna love to have Chokington on his team and kind of backstopping the Surge for this first season.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Vasilevsky as your goalie. When he's the goalie, your team's always in the mix, no matter how bad your team
Oh
is,
yeah,
because
I mean
he can just
he's
keep.
carried some very weak teams in the
Yeah,
past.
absolutely. Moving on, we got 2 more picks left. The number 7 pick belongs to the Blue Ridge Blizzard, owned by Purpled and Akuzo. Akuzo coming off a great season. Fell short in the finals, but nonetheless, probably the second greatest player in Blockey Hockey history, you would say?
That's yeah, I'd say that at this point. There are players that have closed the gap because he's taken seasons off, but when it comes to his accolades, he has 5 rings. He was the best defenseman of his era easily when he was pretty new to the game, and even as of late in recent seasons, he's been easily one of the best players in the league every season that he plays. And I know that like as we run down the list, I mean I've been saying like every owner is great, but like you can't really get much better than Akuzo. He's a player that's going to be super dedicated to his team, and he's somebody that like any team should want to build around. Obviously, same as Chokington, but it's just a matter of do you want the best defender or do you want the best goaltender?
And then wrapping things up, last but not least, we have the New York Bagels, owned by Carl Jacobs, and of course, Youppi. I
Yeah,
won't hand
yeah,
this one over to you, so you're not putting the own medal around your neck.
yeah.
Obviously, Youppi's been easily the greatest player in BHL history. Has commissioned this league since S7. Obviously, one of the greater people I know of, like, obviously throughout my life. I cannot be more appreciative for what he has done for this league. I think
Oh,
everyone should
thanks.
be should be respectful for him. Obviously, he brings the team. If he's on the team, he's pretty much guaranteed to win. It is what it is. It's been this way for years. I mean, he's got all the accolades, anything you can imagine. I'm sure Carl is absolutely stoked to have the GOAT, quote unquote, on his team.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one.
Obviously.
I mean, I'm not going to go and do it, but I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, yeah, we can get into the next segment of this pre-show. We only have 4 more minutes until we're gonna get onto the first pick of the draft, which begins at 7. We can get into a little bit of the details of the draft. We already went over the draft order. Each team will have 3 minutes to make their selection. There will be a clock on screen at the bottom of the screen. Um, there is a sheet in the BHL Discord. If you are interested in joining, the Discord link is in the bottom left of your screen currently. Um, Al, do you have anything else you want to add to kind of
Yeah,
preface this
just
draft?
yeah, just one quick thing on the draft order. It's a bit untraditional. So the first round, obviously being Los Angeles Earthquakes, Nebraska Popcorn, Paris Pigeons, Ohio Otters, Malibu Marshmallows, Sacramento Surge, Blue Ridge Blizzard, and then the New York Bagels. That order will repeat itself for round two. So they will pick in the exact same positions. After round two, it'll switch up to a snake draft. If you don't know what a snake draft is, it means all the picks are reversed. So in round three, the New York Bagels will be picking first. The Blue Ridge Blizzard will be picking second. The Sacramento Surge will be picking third. The Malibu Marshmallows will be picking fourth, and so on. So it'll flip every other. So round four, it'll go back to the original order, and then round five, it'll switch again, just to balance the teams out and keep things even. Obviously, you don't want to give one team the first pick every time because their team is going to be absolutely loaded.
Yeah, I mean it was complicated. I know that we've given all of the owners their credit, but there is a bit of a skill disparity between owners. It's really hard to find 8 managers that are all going to be equal skill level. So when it came to making the draft order, we kind of had to compromise and do something a little bit different that we've never really done before. But our analysts behind the scenes, they decided that this was the best option when it came to draft order for balancing. So we're really excited to see how it plays out. Um, we've got about 2 more minutes left until the first pick.
Yeah.
So
Let's quickly look at, top three players on the board. We got three great players I'm looking at right now. You got Robe, projected number one overall. Obviously, the hugest offensive threat in the league, no question, coming off a massive, massive year with the Storm in BHL S20. Easily one of the greater players. He flamed out in the
yeah, I mean 100%. I can attest to all three of those players. I played with Ghostyferret and I've played against Robe and Spooky Mount. They're all fantastic, and it's gonna be fun to take the ice against all of them. I mean, I can almost guarantee that none of them will drop to the eighth pick. I mean, I will gladly pick any of them if they do, but I know that won't be happening. So they're all great players, very entertaining to watch, and very entertaining to play with. I guess if that makes sense. Um, they're all explosive talents, and it's going to be interesting to see where they all fall. But we're about to get underway. It is officially 7 o'clock, which means that we are going to be switching over to the draft beginning. The LA Earthquakes are going to be on the clock. They will have 3 minutes to make their selection. So yeah, I guess we can just kind of keep chopping it up until their manager TJF takes the stage and
Yeah.
announces his selection.
I'm very curious to see where TJF goes with his first pick. We just talked about those top three players. But you got a couple other players a little bit just below that, could also go here as well. It's gonna depend on what team owner prefers which player. These players are all great. They're all great players, but some people like others a little bit more because they fit in to their to the role a little bit more. When you play hockey, there's certain roles that you take on. So some people are going to be picking before others because of chemistry reasons.
Yeah, 100%. Um, And I think that TJF, he has a lot of experience as a supportive defenseman. So I think that going the route of taking a player like Robey or Ghostyferret or even our doggy is going to make the most sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to be. I think obviously got to be a forward here. TGF coming off a great season with Akuzo being his forward in BHL S20. Now they're owning rivals pretty much. It's funny how
Mm-hmm.
that happens.
Looks like TJF's ready to take a stage. He's currently standing up on the top of the staircase
All right,
and maybe a little
I'll
nervous.
hand it over to TJF. He will be making the first pick in this draft. TJF, take it away.
Pleasure to be here. With the first pick in the BHCL draft, the Los Angeles Earthquakes select Ghostyferret.
Ooh,
I mean,
Ghostyferret
that's
going first
definitely
overall.
that's definitely not what I was expecting. Ghostyferret is a fantastic player, and I've had a great time playing with him in the past. But there were a ton of players that have shown more experience and more production in the past. Where you think of players like Robe and Ardoggy, not to bash Ghostyferret, but I'm very interested to see how this pick plays out. It is a bit of a gamble to take a player that hasn't really shown that he can do it as the number one option on a team. But obviously, I'm very proud of him. I mean, he's a good friend of mine. And I'm very happy for his success in the league as of late.
Yeah.
But you can go on. I'll
Yeah.
the next.
As I said earlier, you can draw this up on paper 1,000 times, and what happens tonight is going to be different. You already have the number 3 rated player coming into this draft going at number 1. That's already a mix-up from the mock drafts on the scouts. Like, anything is going to happen tonight. We are going to see some wild stuff happen. I'm super excited. But next up on the clock, we have the Nebraska Popcorn, owned by Brunlin. He's got, I don't know how many minutes now, probably down to 2-ish.
No, he's I just started the timer.
Okay,
the timer on OBS is bugging out a little bit. Hello, Brunlin.
you're here to make the second overall pick. I'll hand it over to Brunlin. He's ready.
What's up, BHL? All right, so with the second overall pick, the Nebraska Popcorn are proud to select from the Philadelphia Freedom Spooky Mount.
And this is definitely not a shocker. This is one of those picks that have been kind of it's been circulating around the community that this was where the Popcorn were going to go. They were going to take this superstar goaltender to lead their team in the first season. What are your thoughts on this, Alice? I know you used to be a goaltender, so
Yeah,
I have a bit of insight on this.
back in my day, a long time ago. Yeah, Spooky Mount is obviously the second best goaltender in this league. You can argue he's even better than Vasilevsky at some points. He's an absolutely stellar goaltender. He will wow you with some of the saves he makes. Just absolutely ridiculous aim on some of these shots. I mean, you have a sure P3 that is going into the back of the net, and poof, it's gloved out of midair, and it's a save. It's just a spectacular pick here from Bunlin. The number 2 player going at the number 2 pick. This pick has been circulating around, as Youppi said. Should be a good pick for the Popcorn.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
look at the
And
clip.
You can't
Look
really
at
go wrong there. With a player this good, you can't really say that like this pick was bad. Even if the team doesn't work out, like I think anybody can understand why he would pick a goalie that is this good. Regardless of whether or not you think a goalie is this valuable at this high of a pick. I know that some GMs have different philosophies on that, but clearly Brunlin values having somebody he can trust in his own net, and yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to go in on that. Like, clearly he believes in Spooky Mount to be the franchise piece that a team needs to win a championship.
Yeah. And obviously with that, the Paris Pigeons will be on the clock. They have 3 minutes to figure out things. Obviously we Robe not going yet. The number 1 rated player coming into this, not still there on the board. But we still got some others. We got at number 4, we got our doggy. Again, another fantastic two-way player. One of the best defensive players I've ever seen in this league. And then you obviously got at 5, you got Z01, a very young player with very bright potential.
Yeah.
If you want to get into those 2 players.
Yeah. I will say that the first 2 picks, we kind of did have an idea most of the managers behind the scenes kind of figured that Ghostyferret would be going to the Earthquakes, and that Spookymount would be heading to Nebraska. But I think after that, we really are kind of in the dark on where ohLuvv is going to go here. There are so many good players on the board. I think he was really hoping that he could land Ghostyferret with this 3rd overall pick. But now he's going to have to do a little bit of improvising and try to make the best pick he can. I believe he is ready to come up and make the selection, though, as he is currently standing on the stage.
Absolutely. I will hand it over to ohLuvv with your 3rd overall pick.
All right, good evening, BHL. With the 3rd overall pick in the BHCL inaugural season draft, Paris Pigeons would like to select number 3, our doggy.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
So Robe is going to slip out of the top 3 and potentially be in the hands of the Otters or maybe even the Marshmallow.
Yeah, who knows how far he's gonna slide at this point? You know, you come in number 1 and you slide 3 picks. I mean, you got to be feeling some type of way. But obviously, our doggy, a great pick nonetheless. I think he'll pair with ohLuvv. Obviously, you know, depending on the lines matchup, we'll see if they play on different lines, if they play on the same line. But obviously, a no question, no brainer pick here. Another superstar.
Yeah. And we've seen these two players team up in the past on the Houston Bandits in Season 19. They made the finals together. And I believe ohLuvv has only gotten better since then. Our doggy had a bit of a slower season last season due to him missing some time. But overall, I can't imagine that our doggy's not going to be nearly as good as he used to be. And if anything, he's just going to get better with, the prize pool on the line. He's going to have more reason to grind the game. And I mean, we can kind of expect him to get back to his form where he was almost a top 3 player in the league, unanimously.
Moving on in the draft, the number 4 overall pick belongs to the Ohio Otters. It will be Packers announcing the selections tonight. The money, last minute sickness had to call out, unfortunately. So Packers will be calling all the picks tonight. What do you expect to see from him here? Obviously, Robe still on the board, no question.
This is true. I do think that it's hard to pass up a player like Robe at this point in the draft. He's fell to 4th, and he was the Hart Trophy winner in the last BHL season. Fantastic player, but clearly there's a reason the teams are passing on him right now. I couldn't put my finger on why. Maybe they just don't think that that his play style is gonna work long term when it comes to a playoff run. He does have a history of underperforming in the postseason, so that could perhaps be the issue. But really, I only see 2 picks available at 4th overall, which would be Robe or Z01. We've talked about both players, so it's gonna be interesting to see where Packers or if Damoni's just kind of ghostwriting the picks, where he's gonna go with it. Packers currently sitting at his table, punching the ground, trying to figure out what he wants to do here.
Yeah, very tough choice here for Packers. Obviously, his team manager, the money, not by his side. He's bedridden, probably in the hospital
I would like to
somewhere.
add, I believe Packers is in here, but he does have a minute left on the clock, so he should come up here as soon as he can. I believe he just stopped to try to get up on the stage in the Discord to make his pick.
Yo. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, all right.
Wait.
Packers is coming to the stage. I'll hand it over to him for your 4th overall pick.
All right. Thanks. With the 4th overall pick of this draft, the Ohio Otters will select Robe. Let's go.
And that is a no-brainer, I feel like, for a team that is being led by a player that is as inexperienced as Packers. You're getting basically the polar opposite with Robe. You're getting someone that has been around the Minecraft hockey scene for basically as long as anyone. He's one of the I think he's the 2nd leading point scorer all time in Blockey Hockey. So you're getting a great player here, at least for the regular season. Playoffs are still a little up in the air, but we do hope to see him kind of turn that narrative around in the BHCL.
Obviously, as more and more fans come in, the more you watch the stream, the more you learn. There's some hidden narratives behind everything. Obviously, 20 seasons of BHL will do that. So there's some nooks and crannies that you're gonna have to kind of figure out and kind of go along with. Kind of just go with the crowd, but you'll figure things out as things go along in the season. But with that, we are moving on to our number 5th pick. It will be the
Malibu Marshmallow.
Malibu
Or
Marshmallows,
Marshmallows, yes. Sorry.
but with Luke, they're being their team manager.
Yep, and he is currently on his way to the stage. I believe he is already good to go to make his pick.
Yeah, we should see Z01 here, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But we will hand it over to Luke for your 5th overall pick.
With the 5th overall pick and the first ever BHCL draft, the Malibu Marshmallows are extremely proud to announce that we picked Z01 from the Saskatoon Blues.
And like we predicted, Z01 was going to fall into this top 5. He's such a great player, and coming off of basically it was his second full season, and he was looking like a heart level player as a sophomore in the league, which is just uncalled for at this point in like the BHL's history. It seems like it's very rare that a player kind of gets into that form so quickly and develops so fast, and it's only up from here, I feel like. He's gonna continue improving. His defensive game is gonna get better, and he's already a premier goal scorer. So, I mean, I'm just kind of hyping him up right now. If you want to add anything and maybe give your
Obviously
analysis on this.
he played on the Saskatoon Blues last year in BHLS 20. They didn't even make the playoffs, but it was definitely not no thanks to him. He was fantastic the whole year. He was really the only reason the team was winning games and staying in games. There was multiple late heroics, comebacks that you wanted to get behind the team, support the team. Obviously, they fell short in the long run, but no-brainer pick here for Luke.
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna pivot into the next pick. The Sacramento Surge are on the clock with Vasilevsky making the pick. They've got 2 minutes 15 remaining on the clock.
Yeah.
By the way, stream, I am sorry that the timer looks a little buggy. I am very unsure as to why that's happening. It's not happening when I was testing it.
This is where the draft opens up. There's a lot of ways Vasilevsky could go here. You have players like Farabee, a great forward. You got Goriest, a lockdown defenseman. Obviously, he's not going to go with a goaltender in Ploods, but you have Konechny. He's been a superstar, but showing some signs of rust and other things. You have Tango, who used to be a superstar, kind of on the same level of Konechny, a little bit washed. Things are going to open up a little bit here. You're going to see some players flying around that you usually won't see.
All right,
Yeah, 100%.
and I am ready to make my pick, but I will not be picking. Wally Bear will be making the pick.
All right, Wally Bear.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
Hello.
Hello.
I'll hand you over for the 6th overall pick.
Thank you. For the 6th overall pick for the BHCL draft, the Sacramento Surge select defenseman Goriest from the Philadelphia Freedom.
Wow, what a pick. Goriest is a great defenseman. I've played against him so many times in the past, and a lot of people were probably going to skip out on picking him because of his EU ping. But if anything, I feel like that's part of what makes him such a great player is the fact that he's able to play so well on such a high ping, and it makes him almost like unpredictable to play against as a forward.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him a lot on Freedom in the playoffs playing as a forward. He was forechecking. Because the Freedom had such good defense that they didn't even need him on the defensive side. They allowed him to forecheck with that ping, which was absolutely insane. But obviously Vasilevsky here looking more towards the defensive side. Goriest is locked down, easily one of the top defenders in the league, no doubt.
Yeah. There's really not even much more you have to say. Like, if you're looking at the premier defenseman in this league, you're looking at Kuzo, and then you're looking right at Goriest. Despite you saying that he did play forward, which is true, he still, as a forechecker, his defensive ability is coming into play for the most part. He's just so hard to get around that almost putting him at a forward is just even harder because you have to get around him, and then while he's still back-checking you have to get around his line mate, which just makes his line mate's life so much easier. He's just one of those really versatile players that any team's going to want on their roster.
We are going to pivot into the 7th overall pick from the Blue Ridge Blizzard. They are on the clock.
Looks like Akuzo's already on his way.
Oh, he's already on his way. He's got his mind made up. We'll see where he goes with this pick.
I do know that Akuzo was very interested in Goriest. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I'm sure he is trying to pivot.
Recover?
Yeah, trying to figure out what he wants to do now that his guy is off the board.
I'll hand it over to Akuzo as he is ready for the pick.
Hello everybody. I'd like to welcome Purpled to the stage. He will be announcing my next pick.
Ooh,
Hello,
purple.
hello.
Whoa.
Man, I'll tell you what. Blue Ridge Blizzard is about to sweep this league like no one's ever seen in their lives,
Ooh.
and it's not going to be close.
Wow.
But I mean, I've never had so much confidence in someone like I do in Akuzo as my goat. I can't even give him one role. Like he's everything to me, so he's my goat. I guess that is my one role, but like that's everything, right? I mean, I don't know. All I can say is like my confidence in the next player is going to be a cornerstone in our team, a cornerstone in us collecting wins, moving on to the championship. And frankly, I mean, I'm ready to announce it whenever. So if we're good,
Yeah,
like
we're good.
I'm ready to run it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, perfect. So with the 7th pick in the BHCL draft, the Blue Ridge Blizzard select Dripski.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
That is an interesting pick, but a great one at that. I think that Dripski is a very high ceiling pick. He showed so much offensive potential last season, but people had doubts because he was playing on the second line of his team. So maybe people thought that the competition that he's playing against wasn't quite as good. But the great part about him going to Akuzo's team is that doesn't matter because Akuzo's just going to play on the first line. And Dripski's going to be able to continue dominating on the second line of his team and kind of being the driving force of the offense if Akuzo's kind of too focused on shutting down the other team as the number 1 defenseman.
Yeah, I mean, Dripski coming in rated 16th on the scouting ranking, so a little bit of a reach there from Akuzo, but I'm sure he's definitely happy with his pick. Obviously, this is a potential pick. This is for the future. 1 month down the line, Dripski might be a 7th overall quality pick, or even better.
Oh yeah, for sure. And he's been improving. It feels like every game we watch him play. He had a great playoffs last season. He's somebody that I mean, I wanted to get him, but I mean, I wasn't really expecting him to get picked this high. So, I mean,
Yeah,
going to Kuzo for taking that risk. I respect the confidence to take a risk on a player that maybe most people wouldn't have picked this high, but overall, I can't hate it. But now the Bagels are on the clock, which is
I wonder whose team that is.
Yours truly.
Oh, so Charles Jacobs and Youppi will be making their selection. I'm sure Youppi's gonna keep it private to the last moment. Obviously, give away no hints in analysis.
Yeah,
But
no.
there's a lot of players you could go with here. You have Farabee still at the board, number 6 rated skater, still available. You have a goaltender in Pluds at number 8 rated, very good goaltender, coming off a great season for the Orlando Storm. You have Konechny and Tango still there, all forwards mostly, and a goalie. You got a couple defensemen. Alex Inaugural has some inactivity issues. You have transports as well. We'll see which direction Youppi decides to go as we wait on.
I do not think Carl. I don't know if Carl's here because I don't know if he wants to make the pick, but it doesn't seem like he is. So I will just be making the pick.
Go ahead, all yours.
All right. I will definitely myself. I will walk up to the podium. That is me. Okay. I'll do what everybody else does. I would like to thank all the creators that helped us put this together. This has been an absolute blast to work. It's been an absolute blast to work with them. And I'm super excited to work with Carl on the Bagels. I think we're gonna have a really fun team, and I think that's gonna start with this first pick, with the 8th overall selection in the BHCL draft. The New York Bagels are extremely excited to select Tango from the Seattle Golden Eagles.
Interesting pick from Youppi there. Tango, obviously one of the premier forwards in this league, playing second line for the Seattle Golden Eagles this season, made it all the way to finals. One of the top goal scorers. Obviously has been a little bit rusty recently. That's why he's falling a little bit. He can be a little bit inactive as well. A little iffy there, but a great pick from Youppi nonetheless. It'll be a great forward to go along with himself. 2 great offensive scoring threats on that team.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can give my own analysis on my own pick, but I think that he's a player that I expect to kind of get back to his offensive dominance that we've seen in the past, maybe with some more guidance from me, perhaps. I think with the right line mate, he's going to be an absolute force to be reckoned with on the second line of any team. And I think with me teaming up with him, we're going to be a pretty dominant duo in the league. But we're gonna pivot right into the next pick. I did not get the clock started because I was picking. My bad,
Yes.
chat.
So we're going into the second round now. The first round is complete. We are swinging back to the top of the order, back with the Los Angeles Earthquakes. We will have TJF on stage when he is ready to make his pick at 9. Could go a lot of directions here again. Could go a goalie. Could go another skater. We'll see which way TJ decides to go with his team.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of options now. I know Ghostyferret is an extremely versatile player, but I also know that Ghostyferret is a very selfless player. And I know that right now, he's looking for a player to play with TJF perhaps on the second line. Because I know Ghostyferret's very confident in his own ability to play with almost anybody on the first line with him. So if he wants to win, he needs to make sure that his line mate TJF feels comfortable with whoever he's playing with.
I mean, obviously, Ferret having, I feel like, both issues. His second line last year was not nearly carrying the weight that they should have, as well as his goaltender letting him down quite a few times in the playoffs, and obviously leading to their defeat. Both could be good, a goaltender and obviously a second line forward, as Youppi was saying.
I believe TJ's ready.
Yep. TJ, you can take it away.
All right. With the 9th overall selection in the BHCL draft, the Los Angeles Earthquakes are proud to select Farabee, Houston Bandits. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic pick. Farabee is a very, very talented player, and he has a lot of experience in the league. He has 5 championships, which most people don't even realize that he has won that many times in the Blockey Hockey League. He has a great finish. He's a very solid defensive player when you need him to be. And overall, like, you can't really go wrong picking somebody like Farabee, especially if he's going to slip out of the first round. Fantastic player to pair with TJ on the second line, or maybe even if you want to stack your first line, Farabee and Ghostyferret could be absolutely dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, 5 rings, that's 1 for each finger and 5 more than me. So obviously a great selection there from TJF. We'll pivot over to the second pick of the second round. We will have Brandon coming up again with the Nebraska Popcorn's second pick when he is ready. He doesn't appear to be ready yet. Obviously, Brandon having his goaltender in Spooky Mount in the first round, he's got to go skater here. Anyone on the board. You got Nick on the board still, Konechny. You got Alex NR. Obviously, inactivity issue is a big issue. He's going to miss a majority of the season. Maybe a risk taking him as well. You got, let's see, Transports down there at 13, a defenseman. Jaden down at 18. There's a lot of goaltenders higher rated at this point. So we'll see one of these skaters go off the board, and maybe some goaltenders from other teams.
Yeah, I mean, the player that they pick here is going to have to be their first line player. They need a top scorer, and I think that they should be looking for someone with more of a two-way game. They need that like anchor in their skater core to kind of build around. Considering they picked a goaltender in the first round, they're kind of starting from scratch. Obviously, Brandon isn't scratch, but he is a second liner, if we're being realistic. He's not a player that you're going to be able to rely on in most scenarios to carry the team. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go here. I think that they're going to probably go with the route of taking a Konechny, somebody that's very experienced, but I just don't know if Brandon's really confident enough in Konechny's ability as a skater to be the guy he wants.
I mean, we'll see where this goes. This could be off the board.
Yeah, that's true. Brandon does have a tendency to make picks like that. We have a minute 20 left on the board. Still waiting on Brandon. He's currently sitting face down at his desk.
Yeah, I mean,
lost
you gotta
in thought.
you gotta wonder. Maybe he had like Tango in his mind because Tango's 10 coming into the draft. You have Dripsy at 16 maybe in your mind. You got someone like Farabee. Maybe he slips to his pick. They're all gone. The skater market is very thin right now at this pick. You have a lot of goaltenders surrounding this pick. It's going to be a rough pick nonetheless for Brandon to make, and he's obviously thinking that through his head right now.
Yeah, for sure. He's currently running very low on time. I hope he didn't go to the bathroom or something, because that would be very awkward.
Hey,
I think I saw his head move a little bit.
Yeah, we're not.
He is
Ooh.
now a speaker, but he's not anymore. Okay. Yeah, he's good to pick. I'm not gonna like void his pick at this point. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
right,
Brandon, you can
welcome,
make your
Brooklyn.
way to the stage. He's taking his sweet time, taking a Monday stroll.
My mic wasn't working.
Oh,
All good,
gotcha.
all good.
Can't be perfect.
Okay. Here we go. 1 second. Let me get on this stage here.
Yep, take it away.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. With the 10th overall pick, we are going to be taking Konechny
Not a surprising
from
pick at all.
where's he, from the Grizzlies or the Blues? The Grizzlies, right?
He was on the Grizzlies, yes.
Yes, sir.
I guess
Yeah,
I hit the nail on the head with that one, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Knocked it out of the park there. It took a bit to get the pick out, but we eventually got there. Konechny, a great player nonetheless. He's been around as long as I've been around. It feels like we feel ancient at this point. A great player to add. Obviously, he's probably super excited to be in this league as well. He's gonna grind to get his game on the highest level as possible, back to his prime form.
Yeah, and he gets to play with Spooky Mount again, one of his former teammates. I know these two are best of friends, so that's gonna be fun to watch. But now we're back on the clock with the Paris Pigeons, ohLuvv's team. He currently has himself and Ardoggy. Yes.
It's got to be Pluds here, right? Number 8 goaltender.
Yeah.
I mean, Pluds having a great season for the Orlando Storm, carrying the defense of that team. You see the goaltender, like Spooky Mount and Pluds carrying their defense as being a backbone for when that brief defense breaks down. Tucker has had Vasilevsky behind him in previous seasons a lot of times, so I feel like picking a goaltender here is no brainer for ohLuvv.
Yeah. I mean, it also is interesting. It depends. Maybe he trusts that him and Ardoggy are good enough skater core that maybe adding that third elite player could make them unbeatable, and a goalie isn't even going to be as big of a factor at that point.
Yeah, I could spice it up. They
You
could go
never
another
know.
forward here.
You never know. They could try to build a little bit of a big three here, but I mean, I do think that the safe pick would be to go the route of a goaltender. And I know that ohLuvv has talked about that in the past, wanting to make sure that the goaltender behind him is somebody that he can trust.
Yeah, I mean, Pluds there. You have Panaman also having a great playoffs too. Another great goaltender. Either or with that pick, it's kind of a coin flip, toss up. Both very good goaltenders in their own aspect. I don't like we said the skater market is very thin right now. There's not a lot of great skaters compared to the great goaltenders we have on the board.
ohLuvv, are you ready, champ?
I am ready.
All right.
Go ahead, it's all yours.
All right. With the 11th overall selection in the BHCL draft, Paris Pigeons are proud to select Pluds.
And you hit it that time out. We're gonna
Yeah.
trade back and forth, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
great pick. I mean, you can kind of dive into this one. Back in your day, you were the goaltender, so I think this is kind of your realm of expertise, I guess.
yeah, Pluds was a great backbone for the Orlando Storm. Pretty much one of the main reasons they were able to win the league last year in the regular season. Obviously, Robe being one of those star players, but on the defensive side, it was mainly Pluds. Pluds is a fantastic goalie, one of the best in the league, easily top 4. No-brainer pick here for ohLuvv. That team is looking scary. You got ohLuvv, you got Ardoggy, you got Pluds, and he's actually versatile too. He's not a bad skater, so if your team is lacking on inactivity, you got a couple skaters miss show, you can throw in the backup goalie and play them out. You never know.
Yeah, I do actually think that it makes the most sense for a team like the Pigeons to go after a goalie like Pluds. He's the type of player that obviously he can fill in both roles, and ohLuvv is a bit of an injury-prone player now. He might miss games quite often, depending on what happens at practice. But it's going to be very useful if maybe they pick up a solid backup goaltender that you can send out Pluds as the skater, put in your backup goaltender, and your team will still be pretty good.
Moving on, we have the Ohio Otters.
Yeah, we can move on to the next pick. They've got 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining on the clock.
Packers
will be making the selection.
Still don't have a goaltender. They got Packers and Robe, a very high offensive power team at the moment. Could see them going defenseman here, but obviously goaltender is still a big hole in their roster. And with the first goalie falling off the board, teams start scrambling for that goaltender, to make sure they get one of the good ones.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I could definitely see them going the goaltender route, but the same thing as the last pick, the same point I made, where they're in a position right now where there are some pretty solid skaters still left on the board, where they could build a pretty elite trio on that team with the skaters, and maybe hope that they can just bail out their goaltender if they're faltering that game. But it looks like Packers is, I think, ready. He's kind of just running around. Oh, he's running back to his table, and now he's on the Surge's desk.
He's
Looking
asking
around.
how to get up to the stage. He found his way up the first time, but can't
He
find
looks
his
a
way
little
up the
bit
second time.
lost.
Maybe a little bit nervous. Got to shake out the
Oh,
nerves a little bit.
There he goes.
There we go.
Attaboy.
All right, Packers. It's all yours.
Elevator music.
Gotta invite him up. Ooh. Looks like we're having some connectivity issues. A little bit.
Perhaps. Sorry, chat. Oh. He looks ready.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm
There
here.
he is.
All right. With the 12th overall pick, the Ohio Otters select Bagel Glazed.
What a pick.
Ooh, a goaltender.
That's a goalie that we didn't really expect to see. I think we were more expecting Panda Man to get selected, but maybe Robe kind of stepped in and said, like, listen, I think that Bagel Glaze is our guy. Or maybe that was a Demoni pick.
Yeah.
Either way,
Who knows?
This seems like a pick that would be made by more of an OG player that has seen him at his dominance when he did win Vezina and S11. And he's had his stretches where he's just seemed unbeatable. And he's taken over games. So, I mean, this is a very high value pick. Obviously, Bagel has had some inconsistency issues, but definitely nothing to really, write him off with. What are your thoughts on this pick, Al?
I think he played for the Carolina Cobras last season in the BHL, and their first playoff series pretty much sums up this pick. Bagel had a fantastic game one. He was keeping his team in the game. It was fantastic show. They barely lost in overtime, but he was the main reason and pretty much the only reason they were in that game. And then you go to a game two and they get blown out 7-2. So it can be, you can get prime Bagel and he's one of the best goalies in the league, and then you can go to the next game and it's an absolute disaster. So we'll see how Bagel is able to deal with that inconsistency this season. If he's able to stay on prime form, Packers, Robe, and Bagel is a very dynamic trio in Ohio.
Yeah, for sure. But now we're moving on to the next pick. Malibu is currently on the clock with 2 minutes remaining. Well, 2 minutes and 17 seconds remaining on the clock for them to make their selection. They've currently got Luke and Z01, which is a very, very solid duo to start out with. I wonder if they're going to continue this trend of picking goaltenders.
Yeah, I mean, two former teammates of Luke on the Calgary Wings last year on the board. We have Panda Man, the Calgary Wings goaltender, and Transports, the Calgary Wings second line defender. Both very, very good players, rated very, very highly. I think Luke has to go with one of these two here. Obviously former teammates, you keep that chemistry going, it keeps things easier in the locker room.
Yeah, and from what I can understand, they did have a good relationship on that team. The Wings had some issues, but I know Panda Man and Luke were two players that were not a part of that. And they both seem like some pretty down-to-earth guys that could probably go on a pretty deep run together, especially now that they're adding the offensive prowess of Z01. That would be a scary team to put together. Currently 1 minute 14 remaining on the clock. Just a reminder for Luke. I don't know where he's at.
Luke thinking about his pick quite a bit. He got a couple other goalies on there.
He's got time.
You got Celebrini, obviously a good goalie. He's got some cheating allegations though. You got Mimi, another goalie. We got Jaden at forward. Mike's a defenseman. Quake TFA a defenseman. We're starting to get into the depths of the draft. Where your team's depth is make or break by these next couple picks. Still waiting on Luke here as time winds down on the clock.
We got 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Just a reminder for Luke if he's trying to cut it a little bit close.
Yeah, maybe in a little bit of a pickle here.
Yep. And
seems like he's getting up from the table now. Yep.
I believe the pick is in.
Yep, the pick is in. we roll by a little bit of NFL rules. You know, we put 5 minutes on the clock, and 10 minutes later the picks in. So it happens. It happens.
It happens. Yeah, I mean, you just need a little bit more time than most. It's
All
okay.
right, it's all yours, Luke.
I think I might shock some people here. I think that the people of Malibu might be a little surprised at what I'm about to say. But I think that when you build championship teams, when you build dynasties, you have to take risks. And I'm not afraid to do that. With the second round pick, the Malibu Marshmallows select Radium.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That is not what I expected him to say. Holy smokes. Yeah. Yeah, I really didn't. I rated him highly after playoffs, but not pick him in the second round highly. Like, this is a pick where you're not looking to pick a role playing goal scorer. You're looking to pick like a core piece to your team. And I guess he believes that Radium can be that for the Marshmallows. I gotta get the next pick on the stream and get the clock going. So you can keep waffling about this.
Playing in the league and whatnot, you're gonna see a lot of people grinding the game and getting better and better every day.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like, I can even attest to that. That's like part of the Tango pick. I'm sure that a lot of these picks, like the Dripsky pick, like these
Absolutely.
players are quite inexperienced, but these team managers are still completely willing to make gambles on these players and their potential to become a superstar in their position. Looks like Chokington is on his way up to the draft stage. I believe he has his pick ready. The pick is in.
We will hand it over to Vasilevsky from the Sacramento Surge.
Thank you, Alfresco. You're doing a great job. Not the Houston, but sorry. The Sacramento Surge are very, very proud to select Mike's 2 times from the Philadelphia Freedom.
Ooh.
Back-to-back Freedom players getting picked.
Oh,
I mean,
this makes total sense. You got Mike Singorius, they're running back the Freedom second line from last year.
That's true. It's a very interesting team though. You're building your team basically around a second line, which is definitely a risk that they seem to be willing to take. Stream, I see that the dimensions of the clips are wrong. I do not know why that happened. I apologize. I'll just switch it back. But this is a very interesting pick. They really don't have like a prominent goal scorer on their team yet, which is definitely something that I'm surprised. Chokington's teams have always had a problem with not being able to put the puck in the back of the net, and this is kind of just going to continue that trend where he's not going to have a real goal scorer on the roster. But he doesn't. He does have another pick very soon, so perhaps that's what he's banking on, is being able to get somebody that he wants with that pick.
Yeah, maybe it was a little too early to take the forward he wanted to. Maybe like wait a couple extra picks. But moving on, we will have the Blue Ridge Blizzard on the clock. Akuzo with the
He's
15th
already
overall
ready.
pick. He's already ready. He's been ready. We'll hand it over
He
to
knows who he
Akuzo.
wants. You got it, Akuzo. You need him to turn the mic on?
Oh boy. Little bit of a struggle here, you know. It'd be so much easier if we were just like right next to each other, like in real person.
Yeah, it would be easier. Is he gonna talk?
Dude, I mean, we may never know. He's leaving us on edge.
I was finally brought up. I would like to request Purple to be brought up once again.
Oh, another celebrity pick, creator pick again.
Made his way all this time, and now we're just calling somebody else up again.
Yup.
Fair enough. Can't hate it. All right, well,
What's up?
you're good to make the pick whenever.
Oh, I'm good. Okay, question. Is this the 14th pick?
15th.
15th.
Okay, 15th. All right, boys. With the 15th pick in the BHCL draft, the Blue Ridge Blizzard select the one, the only Siphon.
Wow.
Ooh, another lower rated prospect going off the board.
Never call Siphon lower rated. Never disrespect my team. See, because you call my other pick interesting. I didn't fuck with that. All right. Nothing but respect for the Blue Ridge Blizzard right now.
Hey,
Absolutely.
there's
Hey,
nothing but respect.
yeah.
Hey, I mean, he's just gonna prove everybody wrong, though.
Yeah,
Yup.
absolutely.
Yup.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Haters fuel us.
Yep. Hey, we'll be seeing how low rated Siphon is come end of March. All right.
Ooh.
We'll be
We
seeing.
like to see that confidence from the Blue Ridge Blizzard. They're picking for the future yet again, another potential pick. But I love to see this pick.
Yeah, Siphon is a player that I've noticed has a very high work ethic. He's on the server a lot. He's been like that for a while, even before the prize pool. I see him online all the time working on his game. So if you're looking for a player with high potential, he's your guy. He's somebody that you can kind of bank on to improve over time. And he showed that he is a solid defender for a good forward, which definitely fits with the idea of putting Dripsky on that second line and just having Siphon kind of set him up. But otherwise, we're gonna move into the next pick. It's me on the board.
You got two back-to-back picks here, as mentioned before. It is a snake draft, so the order is reversed right after the second round ends. So Youppi and Carl Jacobs having back-to-back picks for the New York Bagels.
I'm currently trying to DM my my only player about the pick, so I apologize if I'm not giving much analysis. I'm gonna try to keep track of the clock while I talk to Tango. Tango, if you're here, please respond to my DMs.
Yeah, this is what happens when you're doing multiple things at once, trying to multitask. It happens.
Yeah.
But let's look at the people still on the board still.
Yeah,
We
that'd
still
be
got a
great,
lot.
actually. Please do that.
We got a lot of players still on the board. I believe Panaman still on the board. Probably the highest rated player. You have Alex and R as well up there. Obviously, again, I will continue to say it. Alex and R has huge inactivity issues. I think he's only going to be able to show to a couple games this year. But you got Panaman, great goalie. I'm assuming Youppi is going to go maybe with a goalie here. We'll see. You got Celebrini, another goalie. Little bit cheating accusations again. You got Jaden, a great forward. High potential. Needs a little bit of a line mate here and there, but obviously a great player. You got Quake TFA still on the board. Youppi's had plenty of experience with Quake on his team. Could be going that direction as well. You got Sammy the Whale still on the board. I know Carl loves Sammy, but we'll see which way Youppi decides to go with that. Top Rages, obviously another Grizzlies player. Another player Youppi is very fond of. Berto XD, maybe a little bit of a throwback, a little bit of an old head. We'll see where this goes.
The person I'm trying to talk to is not responding to me, which is very tragic. But, anyway, my pick is ready. Let me just make one. Yeah, I'm sure with my pick right now. I will pause the clock, and I will definitely will make my way up to the stage.
Yeah, you're already here.
I am.
Quick as that.
Oh, my bad, stream. I was picking. I left the. I didn't put the clock on the board. My fault. It's a one-man production. We're doing our best. Anyway, with the 16th overall selection of the BHCL draft, the New York Bagels are extremely proud to select from the Calgary Wings goaltender Pandaman 1010.
Yeah, a bit of a no-brainer here for the Bagels. Pandaman having a fantastic postseason. It just seemed like all of last season he just continued to get better and better. He had a fantastic playoff run. Unfortunately, they fell short to the Eagles right before the finals. But Pandaman was great all series. The Eagles were all over the attack that series. But Pandaman kept them in games. They were both 1-goal games. Obviously, a great pick for Youppi. Having a great goaltender like that behind you. Obviously, it's going to be very nice for Pandaman having one of the greatest players of all time in front of him. To pair that along with Tango, it's looking like a very nice team over there in New York. But we will be reversing the order, snake draft. So the New York Bagels are again on the clock. They got back-to-back picks here. So we will wait on Carl Jacobs and Youppi's
Yeah,
selection.
Carl is on his way.
Ooh, should be exciting to see. Maybe another celebrity pick.
True. Sorry. I'm sorry. Wait, let me switch it. Let me not forget this time. Yes, chat. Yes. W stream.
Yes.
Carl, you've been invited if you want to join the stage, Carl.
Shout out Tucker. Killing it. All right.
Yo.
Alright.
Carl, do you want to make the next pick? I could DM you who it is if
Absolutely.
you want to make the pick.
I can't be in Minecraft. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
that's fine. That's
No,
fine.
that's fine.
I'm still
Yeah,
trying
well,
to
you're
I'm
gonna
still
have
trying
to
to pick,
tell
but
me
I'll
the pick.
DM you.
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
before we do you mind if I speak for a second?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
First of all, Purple and the Blue Ridge Blizzard are a bunch of frauds and they're going down. Come
Ooh.
game day, the opening day, we're gonna face them and we're gonna clown them, make them look like absolute tossed salad.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, I can get behind this. I mean,
7 p.m. Eastern on Friday, February 9th. We're taking it to Blue Ridge. I don't know where it's happening, either in New York or Virginia, but either way, we're kicking their ass.
Yeah, no, Akuzo's my son, so we'll handle business. That's for sure.
It will be taking place in Virginia for reference.
Sounds good. Okay, we got 20
Okay,
seconds.
wait, did you?
I'm currently like DMing both of the players I picked to try to figure out which of two players they want. I'm like I'm like panicking. All right, the pick is in. I've made my decision.
Okay, sweet. Let me switch to my computer so I'm better.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
There we go.
All right.
Is this
That was
better at all?
fast.
Okay, perfect. You can send me your pick then.
All right.
Or our pick, I mean.
Yeah. There you go.
The floor is all yours for the 17th pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the 17th pick of the inaugural BHCL season, the New York Bagels are going for Top Rages from Boston Grizzlies.
Very exciting pick there. Again, I think former teammate of yours, Youppi.
Yep.
You've had plenty of experience training him. Youppi has obviously trained a ton of players over the years. Top Rage is on the younger side. Another potential pick. You're going to see a lot of them. There's going to be a lot of players who, not the best right now, but as the season nears end, it's going to be firepower from all teams with these potential players.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'm not even gonna say that for my picks. Like we look at a bunch of the picks from the second round. Like we're looking at Siphon, we're looking at Dripsky in the first round, we're looking at Radium, we're looking at my pick right now for Top Rages. These are high potential players. They are all gonna likely improve as the season goes on, especially if they keep up the activity that we've seen recently. Let me make sure that the clock is going for the Blizzard.
Yeah. We'll have Akuzo and Purple figure things out. Obviously, they're very likely going to have a response to some comments being said on stage.
I wish they would.
Hopefully
frankly.
things don't get too heated. Might need to call security, break things up. But as we wait, we still have a couple players on the board that we can go over. Transports at 13, great defenseman. He played with Dripsky last year with the Calgary Wings. It would kind of make sense for the Blue Ridge Blizzard to go that direction. But you still have A lot of players down there. Transport's the biggest one, kind of sliding a little bit. Obviously, Alexander is sliding, but that's inactivity issues. Youppi, where do you think they're gonna go with this pick?
Here, I have to take a peek at the draft board to get an idea of who is still on the board. Who do they have so far? Sorry, I'm like I said.
They
it's been
have
Minecraft. I'm doing my best.
Dripsky and
Oh
Siffin.
yeah, so they definitely need a goaltender unless Akuzo just really does not value a goaltender as much as you would expect. But there are some great goalies on the board. Mimi is still available, which is a fantastic pickup this late.
Yeah.
He is a goalie that I would also say is quite inconsistent when you're looking at like the bigger picture. He has his like really good stretches, but it feels like a lot of the time in the regular season he's pretty below average at points. It feels like usually when his team is performing at their best, he's performing at his worst, and when his team is not performing, he's stepping up and just carrying his team to potential wins. But you kind of want a goalie that can kind of at least meet in the middle when your team is playing well to make sure that you guys have the best chance of winning, and still can pull off a win without having to outscore them, 6-5 or something ridiculous. But it seems like Kuzo is ready to
jump in for a second.
Yep.
Devastating news. I'm checking in one of the chats in the Blockey Hockey Discord. Unfortunately, Sammy the Whale just announced that he just received an internship and is probably going to be missing a lot of the games during this.
Oh, this is a
season.
tragedy.
Yeah, big tragedy. Very upsetting to hear. Just a star-studded player. Just really, I mean, you don't want to see it, but it happened.
Yeah, it's truly unfortunate.
We'll hand it off to the Blizzard for the next pick.
Fuck the Blizzard.
Okay.
Are we calling it purple again, or is it just you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here. Oh, I'm here.
I do wanna
Carl,
say
what are you
something.
doing on stage during my draft pick?
What's up?
What are you doing on stage during my draft pick, bro? What's going on here?
Oh, you want me to mute up?
I want you to get off the stage.
Oh, you want me to get off the stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be scared too.
Yeah, bro. Keep talking. We'll see what happens on Friday.
I also wanted to mention.
He got off the stage.
We are not Youppi Suns. Matter of fact, it is the opposite way around.
Oh,
and
who's
this
saying
season will
that?
prove it.
Who's saying we're Youppi's sons?
Himself.
What the hell?
Anyways, I will lay it off
I'll
to
keep my
Purple.
mouth shut for now.
All right. With the 18th question mark?
Yes.
Yep.
18th. With the 18th pick in the inaugural BHCL draft, the Blue Ridge Blizzard, sorry, singular, my bad. Select Mimi.
Yeah, that was definitely the right pick. There was
Bang.
no.
Yeah, no bullshit to say about that one, huh? No bullshit to say about that one.
Yeah, there is nothing to say.
Yup. Haters
you
looking
made the
real
right pick.
quiet right now. Looking real quiet.
I mean, you were eventually going to get one right, but there you go.
What are you doing up here
Mimi,
during my... No. What are you doing during my draft pick?
Hey,
telling me...
I'm the analyst.
The most biased analyst I've ever seen. You own a team, dude. Fuck you mean you're the analyst?
Yeah, I mean, dude, everybody here is on a team. What do you want?
I'm not on a team. I'm just
okay.
saying.
Okay. Fine. Alfresco, you can do all the talking by yourself. I'll just be quiet from now
No,
on.
Yeah, talking about time you got a pick right, dude. What the hell?
No, this is a no-brainer pick here. Obviously, Mimi, former teammates with Akuzo on the Seattle Golden Eagles last year. They led them to the finals. A great goaltender nonetheless. He's been around for plenty of seasons. So a great pick here by the Blue Ridge Blizzard. Their team's looking pretty good so far on paper. They got Dripsky, they got Akuzo, they got Siffin, they got Mimi. They're just missing that last piece, which they'll get with their next pick. I'm excited to see what they go with next.
Yep, and the Sacramento Surge are currently on the board. We're going to wait for Chokington or Wally to come up and make the pick. Looks like Chokington's ready. He's up. He's spinning around. He's making his way.
All right.
I would like to add to the stream, we do not, so the replays, or the little highlight reels that are playing for the players, those are going to stop pretty soon. We only have enough for like the top, I believe like 30. So sorry about that in advance, but we'll keep putting him out for now. But we're getting close.
Yeah, Chokington, take it away.
All right. The Sacramento Surge are welcoming our next pick in Gasolines.
Ooh,
Wow, good pick.
A little bit of a deep dive there. Interesting pick
I
here.
think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty solid. I mean, none of these picks are really terrible. Obviously, you can rate these players in every which way possible. Gasoline's, rated a little bit lower, but had a really good end to last season with Calgary, proving himself to be the fourth man, playing on the first line with Luke. Great player nonetheless. Pretty solid pick for Vasilevsky and the Sacramento Surge. They now have Goriest, Mikes, and Gasolines. We'll see what they do with their fourth pick. As you said before, is there a question mark there with the scoring? Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, it's something that and like this is straight from Chokington in the past in interviews. He's always had issues with scoring. We're going to this draft that made me think, he's gonna go for players that are gonna be more likely to maybe sacrifice some defense for offense, because I'm sure Chokington trusts himself to make up for those mistakes. But it seems like he's going on down the route of just extremely defensive and hoping that he can just win games by 1 goal, 1-0, 2-1 type of deal. But we've currently got the Malibu Marshmallow on the clock. We're going to be waiting for Luke to come up and make his pick. He currently has Z01, and remind me of the second round pick.
He went Radium.
Oh yeah, the Radium pick. That was a moment.
Two forwards, Z and Radium. Maybe a goalie here, maybe the second defenseman. We'll see which way Luke decides to go with things. Still waiting on his selection, maybe reviewing his options a little bit. I believe Transport's still on the board here.
Yep. And
again,
you know what? I feel like I'll give some insider info. Since I'm sure he won't still be available at my pick. When I was kind of stuck between two players, it was gonna be between Top Raiders and Transport. So I'm kind of surprised that he's dropped quite this much further than my pick. I do think it does come down to personality. Some people just don't really like playing with him due to allegations of toxicity in VCs and whatnot. But he's still a great player nonetheless. He was a finalist for the Norris Trophy last season, so I mean you can dislike him as a person, but his game speaks for itself. But it looks like Luke is on the board and ready to make his pick.
Yeah, Luke, it's all yours.
All right. With the third round selection, the Malibu Marshmallows are very proud to select Kiet as a goaltender. And I'd also like to take a moment I saw someone in chat say something about how come no one is talking about the popcorn. It's because no one is worried about the popcorn. They're not going to do anything.
Oof.
They've got TJF owning them, so we're completely fine there, guys. It's fine.
Wait. No, that's Brandon. That's Brandon. Don't diss DJ.
Oh, my bad. Other team.
Yo, TJ.
Sorry, they're both forgettable.
Oh no! Shots being fired by the Malibu Marshmallows, but they go with the goaltender Celebrini. Fantastic goaltender back when he played, I believe in S18. I feel like when he played consistently as goalie, he does have some cheating. He does have some cheating allegations. They are out there. This pick is pretty risky in terms of that. But obviously we shouldn't see anything malicious on that end. We'll see if that affects his goaltending style. It's a bit of a question mark kind of pick.
Yep, for sure. And we're going to move forward with the Ohio Otters on the clock for the next pick in the draft. We'll be waiting on Packers. Maybe he'll get up here a little quicker this time.
Oh, he's already up and ready in the stage. I don't know if he's ready to make his pick yet, but not going to fumble on the lines yet again. Still got some players left. Obviously the teams looking for their depth pieces, that fourth or fifth man to complete their team, and then when the round 4 ends, we're at middle way through round 3. When we get to round 4, that's pretty much the top 5 of their teams. The teams are pretty much set in terms of starters. So we're getting down to the end of things in terms of the starters. Should be exciting to see how the rest of the draft shapes out. Do we have a time update by chance?
1 minute 50. Sorry, I'm responding to a DM.
Yo, I'm ready.
All right, Packers is ready. We will hand it off to him.
All right. I don't know what pick it is, but the
21.
Ohio Otters select we select Pessy.
Ooh,
But,
Kovu.
known as Pessy by his friends, but more well known in the community as Kovu. Very solid second liner for the Blues last season. I'm gonna try to get his highlights on the screen. Take over, Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I watched him on the Grizzlies last season. I would scrim with them on occasion because I still did own the team. And he was one of those players that did impress me. I think the Grizzlies picked him up as kind of just like their plans didn't go completely as they expected, and they needed a player to fill in the role of like kind of like the fourth man on the team. And he really stepped up. And when they needed him, he was almost playing at a level as high as their top players when he was at his best. So this could be a very high value pick for it was the Otters, yes. Yeah, it was the Otters. Yep. Yep. Exactly. Uh Comparing him with either Robe or Packers could be extremely good because I know he does have a very high ceiling as a defender. Anyway, we're going to pivot into the next pick. We got the Paris Pigeons on the clock. ohLuvv seems to be ready to go.
Yeah, my
He's
pick is
waiting.
in. Just a question of the commish. Am I allowed to have my captain R Doggy make this pick?
Yeah, you can.
All right.
We will call our doggy.
Let me find him in the stage. Why don't they sort this thing?
You'd think.
Hello.
Don't worry about how he's getting to the stage. He's just getting here.
Bro.
With our third round draft pick, we are selecting transports.
Ooh.
And there he goes. Finally, he goes off the board. Great player. It seems that the Pigeons are willing to maybe take a risk. I do know that Transports has a good relationship with ohLuvv and perhaps other members of this Paris Pigeons team, so it's not too surprising that this is where he ended up.
Paris is looking like a fantastic team right now. You have a Norris candidate in transports and a Norris candidate in ohLuvv on the back end with arguably one of the best forwards in the draft, R Doggy, with a great goalie like Plutz. Whew, man, their team looks great on paper.
Yeah, ohLuvv is doing a fantastic job so far.
Easily could be the winners of this draft right now, but we'll see how things shape out. We have the Nebraska Popcorn now on the clock. We will have Brunlin when he is ready to pick. So far, he has Spooky Mount and Konechny, and himself. Not a bad team so far. We'll see. Where do you think he's gonna go with this pick? He could go a couple ways.
Yeah, there's definitely options. I do think he does need to pick a goalie. I think he needs to go a defenseman. At this point, he has two forwards. Brumlin is capable of playing second line defense. He kind of rotated around with APAT last season, and maybe they do pick APAT. I know Brandon did have a good time playing with him last season, but I think that going for a more traditional defender to be able to play with both Brandon and Konechny and flex around the team will be a fantastic option. But do you have anything else to add?
Oh, I nothing at all. We're getting into the depths of this draft.
Yeah, we're starting to get into the realm where teams really are just kind of winging it. You can't plan for this point because you never know when Radium's going to get picked in the second round.
Yeah, I mean, Quake TFA is standing out for me, and I think Jaden as well standing out. Two good players there.
That is a really good point. I didn't even think of Quake TFA. He's a player that has played with Konechny and Spooky Mount in the past on the Blues. I know that he did actually end up getting benched by the end of that season, but he has improved a lot since then, since he left to go to the Muskies and he played with the Cobras. He's improved a lot, so maybe that core of Konechny and Spooky Mount are willing to run it back with him.
Looks like Brandon is nearing to be ready with his pick here. still got some time on the clock. Obviously could go Jaden here as well, but as you mentioned, defenseman is you think what they should be looking for. Obviously Whale on the board as well, but tragic news. He was heard accepting an internship. Really
Mike's
unfortunate
always.
news.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you.
It's working. All right, so I want to say one thing. Luke, your team is trash. I don't know why you're trash talking. We're gonna s'more the marshmallows up when we see them. So that's the first thing I gotta say.
Ooh. Are you
Um,
ready
and the
with your
next thing is
question?
with our pick. Yeah.
Do you wanna
The
come up to this?
Nebraska popcorn.
Do you wanna come up to the stage, pal?
Yeah, I'd probably do that.
Trying to announce from the audience. I don't think anyone can hear you.
That's true. What's up, Ala? Long time.
Yeah, no long time no see. But go ahead. The stage is yours.
All right, guys. So the Nebraska popcorn are proud to select Quake TFA, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, there it is.
There you
We
go,
hit
Al.
we hit the nail right on the head with that one.
That is true. I would agree with that. He really stepped up into that number one role, but he stepped up into that number one role on a team that really didn't have a very much talent, and Packers was being neutralized on the first line. So it will be interesting to see how he performs when he's back into the supportive role that he was on when he was a Grizzly or when he was a Blue. Um, but I'm really excited to see how it works out for him. I'm a former teammate of his. I liked playing with him. He's a cool guy, so I wish him the best. But we're going to move on to the next pick. We've got the LA Earthquakes. They've got back-to-back picks for the end of the third and the start of the fourth round. So we're going to get to hear a lot of TJF for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yippee!
I'm so excited for TJF to make 2 picks back to back. We'll see where he goes with these picks here. Obviously, he has I think who did he grab in the first round? I think he grabbed Ghostyferret first overall, and he has Farabee with his second round pick. Still missing a goaltender, and still missing probably maybe a defenseman, maybe a forward. It depends on which position Ferret wants to play.
We're at that point in the draft where we're gonna see teams finally finishing out their roster and filling in the holes. And we're gonna get to see the Earthquakes do that first. Where they're gonna get that last skater and they're likely picking a goaltender. I can't see why they would pick 2 skaters unless they really thought that there were 2 players on the board that were just worth picking.
I mean this should be the first full team on the board. TJF is in. Are you in with both picks, TJ? Do you have both picks?
I do have both picks.
All right.
We'll
We'll hand it over to TJ. He has the 24th and 25th overall selection.
All right. With the 24th overall selection in the BHCL draft, the Los Angeles Earthquakes are proud to welcome Nixies to the team.
That's a great pick. He's a goalie that was kind of slept on because he did retire at the end of last season, but it seems that with the announcement of the BHCL, he seems very keen on coming back. Despite his reasoning being pursuing school, he might be looking to try to make the time for Blockey Hockey this upcoming season. And he fits exactly what they needed. They needed a goaltender. And I know that Ghostyferret is very high on Nixies. He wanted him for the Grizzlies last season, couldn't get him. The Muskies outbid him for him. But now he finally gets to play with them, and he gets a great supporting cast to accompany a great goaltender.
Yeah, why need a PhD when you got Blockey Hockey Creator League? Come on, guys.
You get Blockey Hockey winnings.
Yeah,
Come on.
but TJF is ready with the 25th overall pick. We'll hand it back over to him.
Yeah, and with the 25th overall selection, we are proud to select Jaden from the Carolina Cobras.
Ooh, good pick here.
That is not surprising. That is definitely going to be Ghostyferret's line mate, without a doubt. Jaden and Ghostyferret have a history of lining together, both on the Boston Grizzlies with me. At one point, Jaden changed his name to Lil Ghostyferret because they were that much of a duo. So I'm very actually happy to see that line reunite. Jaden had a really tough time last season in the BHL as he was kind of forced into more of a number one role on his line where he's always flourished as the second option that was receiving the passes from a better player. So it's going to be very fun to watch to see if he can really evolve his game and play well with Ghostyferret again.
Yeah, and with that, that is a first full team. We have the Los Angeles Earthquakes, the first team with all 5 starters. You have probably a first line of Ghostyferret and Jaden, a second line of Farabee and TJF, and wrapping things in net with Nix's. It doesn't look like a terrible team so far.
No, that is a great team. And I do think that coming from the BHL, it's going to be kind of hard for us as analysts to really read these teams. There are less teams in this league than there are on the BHL. So the teams are going to be better by default. A lot of players are coming back, coming out of retirement. So it's going to be fun to watch to see what teams are going to really perform with this higher level of competition in the league.
I believe the Nebraska Popcorn are on the board.
They are. They have 2 minutes, 17 seconds remaining until their pick. Or that's how much time's on the clock.
Yeah, I wonder where Brandon goes here. He has himself in Konechny. He has Quake now. Do you think he goes another
All right, I'm ready.
defenseman? Or ooh, he's ready.
Let me get up on the stage this time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. This pick may shock some people, but
Go ahead.
I tend to do that.
what pick are we on? Let's see. Redraft
26.
pick number 26. The Nebraska Popcorn are proud to select Newbly Bridge.
Ooh.
You know, I'm a little biased. I love this guy. He's a very great upcoming talent. Unfortunately, we don't have any highlights that throw on screen for him. He didn't get very much ice time in the BHL last season. He was the 5th man on the Orlando Storm, but now it seems like we're going to get to see him flourish in a role, a bigger role on his team. But I'm going to try to set up I'm going to reset the clock, and we're going to get back underway.
Guys,
So we have Paris.
Guys,
ready.
question.
Yo.
Question. I'm trying to do 18 things at once. Who did TJ pick for his back-to-backs? Jaden
So
and who?
he picked
Nixie's.
Nixie's first.
Nixies?
Nixie's first and then Jaden second.
It's a 2-man production. We're both not, and we're not working together at all.
It is what it is. We're trying to figure things out as time flies. Obviously, you know, limited staff, trying to get things done all across the board. Make sure there are no corners cut type thing.
Yep.
Make sure everything is perfect and clean. Obviously, ohLuvv having the next pick in this draft with the Paris Pigeons, having our doggy Ploods and Transports. Looks like quite the team. We'll see what player he decides to round out that 4 with. Definitely a lot of players still on the board, nonetheless.
I mean, just a lot of cringe rosters coming together. You're looking at the Los Angeles Earthquakes, the Nebraska Popcorn, the Paris Pigeons, the Ohio Otters, the Malibu Marshmallow, Sacramento Surge, and Blue Ridge Blizzard, just to name a few. What's the overall vibes, guys?
Yeah,
so far things are actually going. It's been pretty even so far. I can't really say until we see these last couple picks. It's gonna be really hard to see which team's gonna kind of pull ahead as like that favorite coming right out of the draft. But these are a lot of teams with players we've never seen play together before. But then there are also some teams that seem to be going the route of like let's get lines that we've seen work in the past and kind of mix 2 teams together and see what happens. And honestly, I'm kind of leaning towards that being the winning formula. Like, I think you look at like the Earthquake, and you look at like them putting Ghostyferret and Jaden back together. That's a great idea. When Jaden is still available in the 4th round, to try to reunite a line that you know can win a championship, when given the opportunity. Paris is currently on the clock with a minute left. You can keep analyzing out. It looks like ohLuvv is sprinting his way up to the stage. He
is ready for this pick.
He is not
Very ready.
He does
Very
not
ready.
want to
Very ready.
miss his time.
All right. With the yeah. Okay. With the 27th pick of the BHCL inaugural draft, the Paris Pigeons are very, very proud to select Caspit.
Wow.
Ooh.
Another player that we do not have highlights for, but a great pick nonetheless. Very solid depth piece on the Bandits last season, and a great personality to have in the locker room. I can vouch.
Obviously, we're getting to the point in the draft where owners are kind of drafting on where like they like their players. Obviously, the Nebraska Popcorn going with Newbly Brendan having a direct connection there. They both played with each other on the Orlando Storm last season, and we see again here, ohLuvv and Caspit. They were both Houston Bandits last year. So it seems like at this point in the draft, people are favoring, chemistry. They want someone they know in the locker room, and they know they can play with well.
100%. We've currently got Ohio on the clock, which is a team that I think has gone the direction of kind of building a team from scratch. There really aren't that many players on this team that I feel like have a ton of experience together. If you just look down their roster, they've got Robe, Packers, Kovu, Bagel. Like, the only players that I know were on a team together at the same time were Robe and Kovu didn't play for the Storm that season. He was a sub. So none of these players have ever really taken the ice on the same team together, ever. Which could, maybe they'll find some hidden spark that they never knew, that they would have never found if they hadn't taken this risk, but there's always the chance that this just simply wouldn't work out. But, these players are very talented. I'm sure they can make it work. We've currently got Ohio on the clock with a minute 40 remaining. It looks like Packers is ready to go make the pick. He is making his way up to the stage now.
Mike is all yours.
All right. By the way, me, Bagel, and Robe played together in the All-Star game, so that counts, The Ohio Otters will select Ben.
Oh, Carl, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
No.
No.
Is that Sammy?
That's
Yes.
Sammy the Whale.
Sammy
What
the
the
Whale.
What the fuck?
Sammy the Whale is headed to Ohio.
Blame Robe, not me.
Despite the
kidding?
internship, he is going to be picked as the final player to round out this Ohio Otters starting lineup. Clear that they're banking on him being able to make it work and show up to games. What do you think of this pick, Carl?
God damn
it! Clearly, the New York Bagels wanted to add Sammy the Whale to their roster.
Yeah.
This is the worst day of my life. When you look at Sammy the Whale, you're looking at a jersey selling franchise, just a franchise player, to be honest. Like when you think of Messi, number 10, when you think of Ronaldo, number 7, and when you think of Sammy the Whale, you think number 97, It's just a synonymous number. That is going to be one of the numbers that you will absolutely see pinned up above the stadium within a few seasons, frankly.
I love to see that happen. Maybe not against my team though. We've got the Malibu Marshmallow, I believe, are on the clock. Correct me if I'm wrong. Marshmallows.
Yeah.
I hope that the commissioners of the Ohio Otters die in the plane crash on the way home from the draft.
Whoa. In Minecraft, right? In Minecraft.
Yeah.
In real life.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, I mean, clearly, I knew you wanted Sammy the Whale, but man, that's harsh. But we're gonna pivot to the next pick. I believe Luke is ready. He's currently on the stage. Maybe he's gonna make another off the board pick. Maybe he's taking like I don't know, like Ravioli 78 here.
I don't remember what pick it is, but for the next pick for the Malibu Marshmallows, I am proud to say that we are taking Sniper. I'd also like to say that Carl Jacobs is right. Sammy the Whale is known, not for selling jerseys, but just for selling.
Oh.
That's tough. That's tough.
Unlucky.
Well, I guess we can get into this Sniper pick, though. Very solid pick. He had a great season with the Orlando Storm. He took what I think was like a literal blocky decade break of over 10 seasons away from the BHL. Came back, worked his way back up through the minor leagues, got back to the BHL, and he was a stellar defender for Robe, for Robe's Hart Memorial run, which just proves he can play with elite players and elite offensive talents, which is perfect when you have Z01 ready on the second line to be paired with a player just like Sniper.
Yeah, it looks like quite an interesting team over in Malibu. You got, probably looks like Luke and Radium and Z and Mo Sniper, and with Celebrini and net, it's not a bad team. I really do like the pick. This seemed like kind of like a fit pick. You know, they needed someone to go on that second line. Mo Sniper was there on the board. He had a great season last year. You know, might as well pick him.
Yeah, for sure. We've got the Surge on the clock. They are looking to probably get a goal scorer. Finally.
Maybe. They might draft another defenseman. Who knows?
I mean, you're looking at the Sacramento Surge, you're thinking, do they think we're playing hockey? You are trying to get points here, okay? Can we figure this out?
I really do.
For the love of the sport, can we figure this out?
No, really. I mean, I'm on the same page. Like we're talking about Chokington here, the team that has never scored goals, and now he's continuing to not get goal scorers.
We're picking up an elite goal scorer with this pick.
Ooh.
The Sacramento Surge are proud to select from the China League, Berto XD.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why that just caught me so off guard, but it makes so much sense. Getting Berto and Gorius back together, who have actually played together on the Blues and were a fantastic line on that S18 playoff run. Definitely a bright spot for the Blues that season. And Berto XD has said that he's going to put a lot more time into the game now. He's coming home from China, getting a place in North America with the BHCL prize money he's hoping to win. If he doesn't win it, I don't know how he's going to pay for the house here. But you know, this is a very high value pick. They've got two very high ping players on the team now that could be a problem to get around for forwards on other teams. I mean, you could see a clear identity on this Surge team. Can you not, Al? Like, you can see what the direction that the roster building went.
Yeah, they're
and you're looking at the identity and you're thinking the identity is Goofy from the IP Disney. Because this is the worst team I've seen put together in my entire life.
Right,
yeah,
well, we're gonna get we're probably gonna get a little bit of an argument on stage now. We got the Blizzard coming back up. I can only imagine Purple is gonna come back.
Oh boy, here we go again. Kuzo, it's all yours.
We can we get the smack talk back.
We love to see a little bit of back and forth in the BHCL. It isn't even gotten underway and tensions are already getting heated.
I'm sorry to announce Purple will not be here for this pick.
Ooh, that's too bad.
Bummer.
What is he playing? Bed Wars?
Yes. However, I would like to say some words before I make my draft pick. Popcorn. First of all, does anybody know who's on their team? Because I don't. Okay, we can disregard them. TJ's team, I don't even know the team name. You know, we're all in agreement there. Useless team. Packers, the Otters, you know, actually, I kind of fuck with their branding, but still, not on our level. The Surge, and where can I even begin? The Bagels. Bagels are interesting. That won't be fun. ohLuvv, come on, bro. And Luke, I actually fuck with your team. Malibu Marshmallows. However, everybody except the Bagels and the Marshmallows, I do not fuck with. And the Bagels, different story. Anyways, to move on to the pick.
Yapping.
I am. Move on to the pick. Wait, how much time do I have?
Yeah, 1:17.
Pick ready?
Surely not.
All right. Yeah, my pick's ready. Well, with the 31st pick in the BHCL draft, the Blue Ridge Blizzard are proud to select Clamper.
Oh, great pick.
Yeah, I saw this one coming.
Potentially extremely high value pick out of the Blizzard. This isn't one I'm not even going to disrespect this one. I think he's getting picked where he belongs, and he's a super high potential defender. He had his moments last season with the Blues where he kind of went on a revenge arc against the Grizzlies and just dominated them. So if we can see more of that this season, then I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, this team could be extremely hard to beat because they've already got 3 players that are just they have some absolute clamps, but they just have such a young roster that they're going to just get better every game.
I'm curious he slipped this far based off the draft so far. I mean, the draft seemed like, you know, pick potential as early as possible. Clamper has a ton of potential, and I feel like teams kind of almost let him slip a little too far if, you know, they were going for that high potential player. But obviously, you know, the Blue Ridge Blizzard will be very happy to get someone like Clamper on their team.
Yeah, 100%. And we're gonna pivot towards the Bagels pick, which is my team. So I'm going to probably talk a lot less for the foreseeable next 6 minutes.
And I'll step in and
take it
if I can chime in for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking at the Blue Ridge Blizzard, and I respect it. To be fair, run by Purpled, and Purpled's known for Bed Wars, which is interesting. I respect it because he stays to the brand that he has kind of created for himself. You think of Bed Wars, you think of bed, and you think of bed, you think of sleeping. And they're going to have the most boring piece of shit games I've seen in my entire life. The Blue Ridge Blizzard is the worst organization I've seen ever, and we're going to own them.
Yo, Carl, do you want to make the pick? I'm ready for the first one. We get back to
Absolutely.
back,
Yes, I would love to.
Youppi, if you want to maybe find your way upstage, maybe not.
I'll make my way there. I mean, it will be me, but it won't be me. But it's complicated.
Yeah, it's a whole mess. I know you're behind the camera, but on the stage at the same. I don't know how that works, man. You gotta teach me that, man.
Yeah, I don't know. There's 2 of me. I performed mitosis.
Ooh.
Oh wait, hold up. I'm gonna ask you. Wait a second. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, how he hasn't gotten picked yet, many are questioning. I see the chat, it's soaring. I see the Discord, I'm seeing YouTube, I'm seeing everything. It's absolutely soaring at the speed of light. Everybody's asking, how is this guy still available to get drafted? For our next pick, former MVP, number 11, M. Drovel.
Oh, I like to see that. Emderville obviously hasn't played the game in quite a while, but man, was he good in his prime. It's a big question mark. How will he be able to bounce back into form? Obviously, he has been a fantastic player in the past, but hasn't touched the game much. I know he has some other commitments as well. Inactivity might be an issue, but if he's able to return to top 10 form, ooh, look out. The Bagels are looking dangerous.
And I'm currently working towards figuring out who I want to take for the next pick.
Yeah,
so give me my time.
Yeah, but
and for our next pick, it's gonna have to be Sammy the Whale.
Yeah, true. We're sealing him. We're poaching him.
Yeah, but with the round 4 ending, we have 5 players on all 8 teams. We have full rosters all around. We're gonna get into a little bit of the depth side of things. We might not see the greatest players go, but maybe more of a locker room guy. Maybe someone to get the boys hyped up in the locker room, or someone just to fill in who can fill in multiple roles. You're gonna see a bunch of versatile picks here. Many of them probably won't even see the ice, but it's definitely important to have those bench players just in case your starters can't make.
Me and Youppi currently looking down the list where, there's only a few things on our mind. Obviously, team synergy. Obviously, some of it comes down to when you're in that locker room, who's keeping the morale up, you know what I mean? Who's selling the most jerseys for the franchise?
Yeah. And, we're the biggest org here. I mean, I think everybody knows that. So, we want to get players that we know can represent, an organization as massive as the New York Bagels are.
Yep.
I'm interested to see where the depth, the picks start to go. It's going to be interesting to see where people start taking this. Obviously, you're going to favor your boy a little bit more, your friends and whatnot.
Looking at the line, let's talk about the first week of matches. We're looking at 7 p.m. on Friday, Eastern Standard Time. Charity work in the fact that we're allowing the Blue Ridge Blizzard to be in the same rink as us. Really excited to see how that plays out. What are you guys thinking so far?
Dude, it's going to be a heck of a matchup. Obviously, you have the 2 stars, Youppi and Akuzo, going head-to-head. Obviously, that's like the matinee matchup. That's, the 2 players going head-to-head that you want to watch on the ice. But both of these teams look very, very good down the depth chart. You got, for the Blue Ridge Blizzard, you got Dripsy, you got Siffin, you got Clamper there. Solid goaltender in Mimi, but the Bagels have firepower as well. They got Tango, they got Top Rages, they got Emderville, they got Panaman. The only thing I'm kind of worried about for the Bagels is Emderville. He's a bit of a question mark, but if Emderville is able to show, the Bagels should be absolutely fine. And obviously they have another pick to address this right now. So I think the Bagels, maybe a little bit of an advantage here. I think Panaman's slightly better than Mimi. I think Youppi and Tango best Akuzo and Dripsy just by a little bit at this particular moment. So I would have to give a slight advantage to the Bagels in the matchup on Friday.
All right, the
Slight's
pick is
very
ready.
generous. Thank you so much.
I'm currently sending it to Carl so that he can make the pick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna write out how to pronounce it so that you don't mess it up because it's kind of a weird spelling.
Of course. I don't think it's really that hard to pronounce Sammy the Whale, but I understand.
Yeah. My bad.
Again, we're looking for the numbers that are going to end up being put on above the ice rink. We're looking at the jersey sellers. We're looking at morale, but we're also looking at the best goddamn players in this entire industry. And look no further than number 88, Arax.
Ooh, a solid pick for the Bagels. A defenseman played with the Tango, the French connection, back together. They played last season on Seattle. Was a great second line for Seattle. Makes total sense for Youppi to go there. Obviously, picking Emderville last pick, bit of a question mark. You get a solid, bona fide second line defender with Tango if Emderville's not able to show. And you got Youppi and Top Rages on that first line with Panaman and net. Whew, that team is looking fantastic.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. But we're gonna pivot to the Blue Ridge Blizzard, who are currently on the clock. Clock is always delayed because I'm so bad at my job.
Hey, you're not that bad, man.
I'm doing my best. Looks like Akuzo's
We're
already
trying our
ready,
best
so
over here.
the clock doesn't really matter.
Yeah. All right, Akuzo.
Okay.
The stage is yours.
Fuck the Bagels.
Alright,
Sorry.
bro.
What the?
Sorry. For
Yeah, that's what I thought.
for pick 34 of the BHCL draft, the Blue Ridge Blizzard are very proud to select and one up the Bagels in picking Alex and R17.
Ooh. An interesting pick for the Blizzard. Obviously, a great generational player, but he's not going to be here for most of the season. He's only going to be able to attend a couple games. So an interesting pick there, kind of like a, temporary sub in, get a couple games in and just hope he maybe can show to playoffs, maybe not. We will see as the season unfolds with his availability, but more of a depth piece for sure. They're probably just going to look to slot him in whenever he can make, which is very limited.
Yep. I do think Alex is a great pick. If he does somehow just not go on vacation, then this team is going to be just absolutely busted. This guy is incredible. The fact that he dropped this far is solely because of his activity issues. He's really not going to be able to show for playoffs. He's not going to be able to show for most of the regular season. But the games he's there, he's going to be a massive contributor to this team and make them an extremely hard team to beat for any of their opponents. But we're gonna jump right into the next pick. We've got the Sacramento Surge on the clock. Will the next player they get score goals? Let's find out.
Lefsky up to the stage. He's ready. As these later rounds, team and managers just trying to get out of here. So, Vasilevsky, it's all yours.
All right. I don't know why everybody's beefing. Spread love, no need for hate.
Fuck the Surge!
All right, man. Really?
Really, man? Even I feel
Alright,
kind
bro.
of bad, bro. Look at his eyes, bro. I'm
Alright.
about to tear up.
All right, bro. All right, bro. Whatever.
Fuck
The Sacramento Surge are very proud to select from the Houston Bandits Arden B.
That's
Oh,
not surprising at all. Former teammate of Vasilevsky here.
yeah, a
Great
very,
goal scorer.
very high potential pick. There you go, a goal scorer.
Chat, they picked a goal scorer.
Dude, I'm looking at the Surge, and they got 5 really, really solid players all around. Ardenby definitely having potential to become a goal scorer. The biggest question mark with this team is, do they have that bona fide number 1 option? And I'm looking at this team right now, and they don't. But that's okay. You can play a defensive game. We saw the Freedom last year. They won the Cup. They allowed in the least amount of goals, and they were suffocating teams nonetheless. So I feel like, if you go for that defensive route, you got to be able to lock it down on the defensive side of things. So maybe like a one goal, you score one goal and just hope the rest of the match you can keep the puck out of the net.
Alfresio, let me give you my take on how this team's gonna try to win games, okay? So they're gonna have their 3 just clamp defenders, and then they're gonna put Arden B out there, and they're gonna tell him just wait for the other team to make a mistake, and then go score, and then they're gonna hope that they make a mistake and he goes and scores, and then they're just gonna turtle up and play defense for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm too far off, or
No,
think I
not at
kinda nailed it?
all. I think you're right on the head. It's a very interesting strategy nonetheless. We'll see if it works out for the Surge. If the games only tell themselves. It's a very, very risky strategy nonetheless. But we will move on now to the next pick. We have the Malibu Marshmallows at pick 36. I think Luke is ready with the pick.
All right, I just want to say real fast, we have a couple people beefing in here. We have a couple of people, spreading positivity. Shout out to the Bagels, and shout out to the Blizzard. I know you guys, got a thing together, but just like a little love triangle. I like you guys. Everyone else, whatever. Anyway, with pick 36, the Malibu Marshmallows are proud to select our future 5th man, Just Rye.
Ooh,
Very high potential
wow.
pick. This is somebody I wanted to
Wow.
get, but he went a little bit too high for me to get him. JBHL player that seems to have an extremely high ceiling. If you follow hockey, could be the Connor Bedard of this league if we want to make comparisons. Fantastic pick, in my opinion. Al, what are your thoughts on that?
Just Rye looks like an absolute fantastic potential player. He is very, very raw right now. That is something to keep note of. If he is played day one, he is not going to be up to BHL caliber. However, if he puts in the training and work possible, he's been on the server like almost, I've seen 8 to 10 hours a day. If he's able to grind and, maybe Luke can take him under his wing a little bit, train him a little bit, teach him, the logistics of the game. By the end of the year, he could be maybe a second line caliber player, maybe even a first line caliber player. Who knows?
You like seeing young talent getting drafted to a team that has some amount of respectability in the Malibu Marshmallows. It'd be a bad day if we saw somebody so young and new to the scene joining the likes of, like the Nebraska Popcorn or something like that. So it is always a good day to see something like that happen.
All right,
Indeed. The Ohio Otters are currently on the clock with 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. Currently waiting on Packers. They're gonna get their first sub for the Otters. They already have their roster rounded out. And it
Yeah,
looks
I
like
think.
he's ready to go.
All right, Packers, it's all yours.
You get strike mic on? Oh,
When he gets to the stage, having some mic difficulties, technical
mic's
difficulties.
off.
Stand by.
Sorry guys, I'm lacking. My bad.
It's all right. There we go.
All right. What pick is it?
It is the 37th pick.
Okay. With the 37th pick in the draft, the Ohio Otters select APAT.
Very underrated pick. I feel like he slipped a lot further than people expected, but I think that's just because people don't really know what to expect from APAT. He's just kind of a solid two-way player that he doesn't really have an identity as a player, I feel like. He's solid both ends of the ice. You can trust him with the puck, but like you don't really know what he's gonna do with it type of deal. But I'm not trying to disrespect him. I think he's a great player, and obviously he was a big part of the Orlando Storm going on their President's Trophy run last season, so obviously he's doing something right. What are your thoughts on this pick, Al?
Yeah, I think this is a pure defenseman. Doesn't really put a lot of points up on the scoreboard. He's mostly looking to dish the puck to his teammate. He needs somebody in front of him to carry the puck up the ice. But when it comes to the defensive zone, he's pretty locked down. He was a great contributor to the Storm's President's Trophy win last year, and because their defense was so good, obviously he was pairing with Rob a little bit with Brunlin as well. Both high-powered forwards that he was just able to launch the puck up to and get goals that way. So yeah, we'll definitely look to see that. Obviously Rob on this team as well. Maybe Robe speaking a little bit down the grapevine there to get his boy.
Yeah, it seems so. And it looks like ohLuvv is already ready to make his pick. Seems like we predicted, the team owners kind of just want to get these late rounds done as fast as we can.
Yeah.
Not all of them are thinking as we're playing 4D chess out here, but I understand why the rest of them don't really have this depth of knowledge the way me and
it
Youppi
makes
do.
sense.
So.
It makes sense.
No, I think a lot. Don't worry.
Bro's the thinker.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a thinker. I don't even have a university degree or anything. But all right. So the Paris Pigeons for the 38th overall selection in the BHCL draft are proud to select Tiger Lover 06.
That's a great pick, especially at this pick range. He's somebody that I had my eye on with the Bagels, and I'm sure Al can attest that this is a very safe pick.
Yes,
at this
absolutely.
point. You know what you're going to get out of Tiger Lover. He can play with basically anybody. He can play goalie if you need him to. And he has experience on winning teams. He's won the Cup twice. He didn't really play much in the playoffs for the Wings last season, but it's not like we didn't know he was a good player. I know that team had some internal struggles because a lot of the people on the team thought he should have been playing because of how much experience he has and how solid of a player he has proven to be in the past. So shout out Tiger Lover. Shout out Tigers.
Yeah, shout out Tigers in general.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Pretty cool. All right, we've got the Nebraska Popcorn, I believe, on the board. Am I wrong? No, I'm not.
Yep.
The Nebraska
you're
Popcorn
correct.
are back.
Yep, they're on the clock. We will wait on Brunlin and his decision. Still hasn't decided yet. Obviously they have their full roster: Spooky Mount, Konechny, Quake, Newly Ridge, and Brunlin. But looking to add a depth piece here. Got a plenty full of players to choose from. I think about 160 people signed up in total for this league, just about.
Something like that. That sounds
right. There were 152 registrations.
There you go. Exact number. We still wait for
We've
the
got
pick.
2 minutes on the clock. He's got time.
Yeah, plenty of time.
We're not gonna rush him here. But
Are we excited for the matchups on Friday? I know we already went over the Blue Ridge Blizzard versus the New York Bagels, but we got a couple other matchups: Sacramento Surge and the Ohio Otters just after that, and then the Ohio Otters playing in a back-to-back versus the Los Angeles Earthquakes, and then to round it all off, the Sacramento Surge playing it again versus the Paris Pigeons. Friday, February 9th. We hope to see you all there. Should be an exciting opening day.
very true, very true. Minute 20 left on the clock here. Just a reminder for Mr. Brunlin over here.
Taking his sweet time. Nothing wrong with that. Looking over all his options. There's, like we said, 152 players you got to look at.
Yep. For sure. Yeah, I'm actually myself currently looking over the draft list and the players that are still available. There's some notable names there that have had some quality runs in the BHL. I mean, I look at Vinny 1G. He's not going to have a ton of ice. He's not expected to be super active, but he is a great defenseman nonetheless. I'm looking at ohLuvv, who used to be a consistent BHLer and was very solid when he was on the Riptide, but he's kind of fallen from grace, if you may. Quick reminder, Brandon, you have 30 seconds.
How about your fifth man of the? I think it was fifth man of the year, Discoof McGundy for the Freedom.
That's true.
Still on the board.
All right, I'm ready to make the selection.
Right. Final.
You gonna come up to
Sorry
the
for the
stage?
wait. Sorry, yeah, I'm gonna come up to the stage for that.
Gotta get your cardio in, Brandon.
It's good, Ala. Like the suit.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So the Nebraska Popcorn are proud to select, known him for many years and never played with him, Mr. Disgoof McGundy.
Ooh, there it is.
And there you go. Good call, Alfresco.
Yeah, I saw
Nailed
the fifth man of the year still on the board. Played very, very well with the Freedom last year. Was able to step in when Mike's was away from the game. Played a little bit in the playoffs. Got his name on the cup. Always a nice thing. So obviously a solid role player nonetheless. A little more of a locker room guy as well. Obviously I'm sure many people on a team with this goof have had great locker room experiences with him. So, I mean, Youppi, if you have any other comments.
I mean, no, just Goof's a player that like most teams kind of want to have in their back pocket. That if players in your team can't show, that he can play both forward and defense. He's flexible. He knows how to play around players better than him. He understands his role on his team, which is just an extremely valuable piece to have, and is a big reason why the Freedom were able to go on their cup run last season. Because you never know what happens in the regular season. Maybe they don't build up any momentum if they don't have a guy that can kind of fill in for Mike's while he's gone. And with this league having games all hard scheduled, maybe his schedule will align with it better than somebody else on his team, and he'll be able to make more of the games and be able to fill in where his teammates may miss. But we're about to see the Los Angeles Earthquakes make their next selection. TJF seems to be ready. They have back-to-back selections. I wonder if he will be making them both now or making us wait a little longer. But I believe the pick is in, so I will stop the timer.
With the 40th overall selection, the Los Angeles Earthquakes are proud to select Oradex.
Very good pick. Very good locker room guy. I don't have a edit to throw on the screen, so if you want to just make your next one, then we can kill the awkward silence.
And with the 41st overall selection, we are proud to select Vaculate Beef.
Very promising young player. Former first overall pick. Sorry for stealing that from you, Al.
Darn, I wanted to say it. What's that?
Former first overall pick, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Obviously, didn't have the greatest season. You expect from a number one pick. You go out there, you're making a headline, but kind of stayed low a little bit in the minors. Developed, but some picks are more raw than others. Then they take more time and have to take a couple more steps. But down the long run, Vacuole Beef looks to be a promising player. So an interesting pick from TJF. Obviously looking towards the future. Maybe Vacuole Beef can get on the grind and make himself a competent second line option.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Brandon's already ready to come back up here.
Oh yeah, we're ready.
He didn't know who to pick for his last pick, but he's real ready for this one.
All right. Firstly, I want to say this guy who I'm taking, it's strictly for the Bagels game. A physical presence, someone that was on one of the most historical teams of all time, the Hartford Whalers, Chicago Dogs. He's been on both those teams. And the Nebraska Popcorn are proud to select Finn Hockey.
Very, very good pick, if I do say so myself. Alfresco, what are your thoughts on that? Former teammate of Finn.
Yeah, I've spent plenty of time with Finn Hockey in my days. Kind of a versatile player. He can play goalie, he can play forward, he can play defense, he can play it all. But obviously he's a bruiser. He's there to get one thing and one thing only. He's there to rack up them penalty minutes. He's making sure nothing flies from the other team. No nonsense allowed. I love the enforcer pick here from Brundlin.
Yep, and I'm a little bit worried about what he said before he made the pick.
I'm not worried at all. Don't worry about it, Youppi.
I think Emdravel will protect me, but
let's just say the Nebraska Popcorn on the way to New York for their match might run into some engine problems in the plane. We'll just put it that way. But I'll leave it at this. I am not worried about any enforcer or anybody that they might draft.
Bold statement
that
from
eases
Carl.
my nerves.
And we are on to the next pick.
Yep,
it is
Paris Pigeons
ohLuvv
are
and
currently on the clock. 2 minutes.
Yep. ohLuvv taking his time. Obviously, maybe his pick was swiped. Maybe looking over a couple options.
I mean, I can't really imagine that Tucker was going after Ace Craven with his pick, but
hey, you never know.
You never know. You never know.
You do never know, but I'm gonna take my chances and make that guess.
Still waiting on the pick here. Tucker making up his mind, looking through the draft here. Still got quite a while to go. We got about like two and a half more rounds of picks. Obviously, as this draft comes to an end, teams starting to speculate their starters and whatnot, trying to round out their rosters as ohLuvv is ready with the pick.
All right. I gotta figure out this pick. All right. For the 43rd selection in the BHCL inaugural season draft, The Paris Pigeons are proud to select borderline dumb or Marvin Harrison Jr.
Another player from the minor leagues that they seem to be wanting to take a chance on. High potential pick. What are your thoughts on that one, Al?
Yeah, played on the same team as Vaculate Beef. I watched them in the playoffs for the minor leagues. Looked very, very good. Honestly, a little bit more noticeable than Vaculate Beef. I thought it pretty impressed me very, very much so. More of a pure scorer in my opinion. Not too much on the defense from what I saw. I didn't really get to see much, but obviously has a lot of potential. I don't think he is BHL ready at this moment. Kind of a bench player. Maybe he'll fill in 1 or 2 games, but we'll see how he develops down the line.
Yeah, for sure. Currently waiting on Packers to come make his way back up. He seems to usually have some trouble making it to the stage, so.
I'm here. I'm here. Calm
Oh,
down.
All
He,
right.
he never left. He was.
He never. Oh, that's why. Well, he never left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably best for
Wait.
everybody. We don't have to wait.
How much picks does the team get?
We're doing 8 rounds.
Yeah, 8 rounds.
3 more
Alright.
picks.
So you have the 44th overall pick. It's all yours.
All right. With the 44th overall pick, the Ohio Otters select Clifford 82, I think. I think that's the numbers.
Yep.
You nailed it. All right.
Let's
Clifford
go.
82 is off the board. What do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think of that, Al?
Yeah, another member of the Chinese league. Very very interesting pick there. Clifford playing on the Quebec Ramparts last year. They missed the playoffs. He was a pretty solid player. I think he's definitely a depth player. I feel like he is kind of on the same lengths of Tiger Lover. Obviously not as good as Tiger Lover in my opinion. Probably like a little bit step below, but obviously a very reliable player nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with you. We've now got Malibu back on the clock. 2 minute 30 left. They got plenty of time.
when you're looking at Clifford getting picked, and he's looking around at his team, he's getting a little nervous. He's not sure if he's gonna be able to fit in, if he's gonna be able to, be put in a spot where he can become a better player. And then he looks over and sees Sammy the Whale there, and he realizes that everything's gonna be all right.
Yep.
Carl, do you have any thoughts about maybe acquiring Sammy the Whale in some type of deal?
What's up? Oh, I'm not even sure if we would have any interest necessarily. I heard, honestly, I think he's probably pretty not too valuable if I were to put him up for like sale or trade because of how inconsistently he's going to be available, is what I'm hearing at least. So I would probably just trade him or sell him to us for a very small fee.
This guy knows how to negotiate. I love it. Looks like Luke is ready.
Already starting the trade negotiations. I love it. The draft's not even over. But Luke, are you ready? Maybe not. He's not up on stage yet.
He's walking.
There he goes. He's coming up stage now. Oh, there he goes. Now on stage. Pick is in. Luke, the stage is all yours.
I'm gonna make it short and sweet. Pick number 45. We are selecting goaltender Zaz Pixel.
Ooh.
Another Name Cheller.
Yep.
Very
Backup
good player.
goalie for the Freedom. There's this kind of thing with a backup goaltender on a very good team. They become very, very good with scrimming with some of the best players in the league. We saw it with Pluds. He was kind of their 6th man a year ago, and then kind of broke into the league this last season and becoming a star goaltender. Maybe Zaz can do the same thing with obviously practicing with the Freedom, being that 6th man in their scrims. Can he become maybe a starting caliber goalie? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean it'll be interesting to see. I believe they do already have a goaltender.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, but I mean, spending another season scrimming with a very high level team, especially a team that is as offensively good as the Marshmallows, you're gonna get a lot better during your tenure with that team. It looks like the Surge are, I don't know, Wally Bear is just kind of running around. He's looking at the Marshmallows and shaking his head, and Luke's about to shoot him.
Oh my God.
Yikes. Anyway, I don't know if the Surge know they're on the clock, but they are.
If I'm Wally, instead of looking at the Malibu Marshmallows, maybe I'm looking at a couple good key players because they have some holes. Let me tell you. If I were to turn the Sacramento Surge into a cartoon character, they would be SpongeBob with how many holes they have.
Ooh.
Ooh, oof.
So they're making their way up here now, though.
Yep, they are
Shokinson,
ready
who has
though.
been spreading positivity. I wonder if he will make it maybe disrespect, throw some
Maybe
disses back at the Bagels.
Make a statement, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
But the stage is all the Sacramento Surges.
All right, and you know what, Wally Bear, I don't see you in the audience, but I want you up here. Where are you? There he is.
There he is.
You want to join?
Are we?
How do I invite
Okay.
people up?
All right. You know, I think it's a little rude. You know, I think we need to. I think this world is already full of hate. You know, but I will say, I don't know what I did, you know, to the Bagels, but you guys are in for a rude awakening. All right.
Ooh.
No, I'm not one to spread negativity, but seems Wally Bear is also taking a stand. Anyways, with the 46th pick in the BHCL inaugural drafts, Sacramento Surge, proud to select from the what team? Moya. We're proud to select Moya.
Moya.
I didn't remember
Moya.
what team she
Moya.
what like evolution
From the-
of the hitman she had, but there you go.
The first
Carolina
female
Colby.
goes off the board here. Mia, obviously a longtime member of the community, played with Carolina, was their fourth man this season, or I guess like
Fourth
fifth man,
woman.
kind of, yeah, first woman, kind of jumped into that role by the end of the season. Pretty solid pick here. Another pure defender, very, very good on the back end.
It's unfortunate what happened to the career, obviously, having to go to the Sacramento Surge, but it is understandable that I'm glad that she's a team, you know, a good sport.
Yeah, I think it's interesting they got another pure defender to slot into that team just in case one of their other pure defenders doesn't miss or misses a game. Definitely looking like a defensive team over there in Sacramento. An interesting strategy, nonetheless, but we'll see how it turns out as the season gets underway. But the Blue Ridge Blizzard are now on the clock, and Akuzo seems ready with the pick, so we will hand it off to him.
Hello. With the 47th pick of the BHCL draft, the BRB are proud to select Outduel.
Ooh,
Another JBHLer coming off the board, second one of the draft. And I'm not saying that to disrespect him. I think he's a great player. He has a lot of potential. It's surprising to see teams take these chances on players that have not even played at the tier 2 level. But I'm very excited to see how these JBHLs perform because they're going to be playing in both the JBHL and the BHL this season, so they're going to get extra reps. But after that, we've got the Bagels back for back-to-back picks. I've currently been talking to my team, but it seems like we're already.
Yeah, we're ready.
We already know who we want. Am I gonna walk up there again, or am I gonna just? I don't know. I have a second body that kind of just does what it wants. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's gonna go up.
I don't really see it anywhere near, so you can kind of just fire away here.
Yeah. With the first pick, we're gonna make with what overall is this? I should know this. I'm in charge.
48.
48.
No, 48th pick. Yes, with the 40th overall pick, the New York Bagels are proud to select from the Boston Grizzlies, Meatbag Franks.
Ooh, the backup goaltender here for your New York Bagels.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have?
Then I have my next pick.
Go ahead.
Keeping with the trend of selecting some players from the JBHL, we're going to keep this Frenchie theme going with the 49th overall selection. The New York Bagels are extremely proud to select only Burb from the JBHL winning Quebec Nordiques.
Yeah, I love that pick. You know, JBHLers are flying off the board left and right. Got some very, very raw prospects. Teams not afraid to fill their roster slot with potential. ohLuvv coming off a JBHL MVP in the finals. I watched all 5 games of the finals, and he was fantastic. Looked like the best player in that series. And he went head to head with Just Ryan, looked like the better of the 2 players. So a very interesting pick for the Bagels. I think they got a nice pickup here, and I think probably my favorite from the JBHL pool.
Hey, thank you, man. I worked really hard on that pick.
And soon it'll be everybody in the world's favorite from the JBHL pool because clearly the best one, ohLuvv. I mean, stepping in, coming from a younger league, but obviously going to crush every single person in their way.
100%.
And the Blue Ridge Blizzard are back up on the clock. Kuzo's got to make another pick here. We still have some time here. I wonder if the Blizzard go with another potential pick like Outduel. I don't really see it. You know, maybe more of a solid pick here. Go for someone with make sure they have like a solid veteran in the locker room. Got a lot of youth in here right now. I know Alex and Art in there as well with their depth, but we'll see where they go with this pick.
I'm currently looking at the like players I have highlights for, and there's only one remaining, which is Vinny 1G. He's the only player left that have cool clips to show. So I'd really appreciate it if somebody took him. It would make me feel really good about myself.
All that hard work and effort that was put into that montage, you know, surely one of the GMs has to take him.
Surely somebody takes the gamble on a player that was like a Norris level player, but he's probably not going to show very much. All right. We'll just take our time, Akuzo.
I'm gonna go watch.
And he is now on his way up to the stage.
All right, take it away, Akuzo. It is the 50th overall pick here for the Blue Ridge Blizzard. Go ahead.
With the 50th pick in the BHCL draft, the Blue Ridge Blizzard are very proud to select. Wait, give me a moment. Okay, I found it. Vinny 1G.
Yay!
There it is.
Yay!
About time. I think Vinny, obviously the best player on the board skill-wise. I know his inactivity may be an issue, but if he's able to play, man, the Blizzard got a good ad here. But you know, that's a big question mark. That's why, you know, these players are sliding. That's another player that the Blizzard have drafted with availability issues. They have now Alex, NR, and Vinny. If they're both able to show, look out. But obviously, big question mark there.
And, you know, I don't want to sound crazy, but I'm not going to lie, and I don't want to hate on these picks. They are great picks, but at a certain point, you're going to have too many good players on a team. And it's just going to, like, you're picking a lot of players that, like, even if Vinny's going to show up, are you really going to slot him in over people that you've been playing with all season long? Like, say, for example, Vinny shows up, is Siffin going to sit out for Vinny? It's going to be really interesting to see what happens if that situation comes up.
Exactly. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that locker room, just seeing the dynamics of how cringe it might be. Because you're looking at the Blue Ridge Blizzard, and clearly they're drafting players, individual players. They're not drafting a team.
Yeah, I wonder if the Blizzard are kind of playing like a little bit of 4D chess and kind of picking players so other teams don't get them.
Yeah, that's kind of that's the vibe I'm getting from them. I'm not gonna lie. It seems like they're just kind of like, we don't want anybody else to potentially get this guy, so we're just gonna put him on our bench and kind of ride it out.
Yeah, if he shows, he shows, and if not, no big deal. The other team's not gonna have him.
Yep.
We have the Sacramento Surge now on the board. Vasilevsky and Wally Bear making their way up to the stage now. They will be announcing the 51st pick very shortly.
Everybody's all aware that Wally Bear clearly way too scared to be brought up on the stage.
Wow.
The look in his eyes is crazy right now.
Wow. I lost my train of thought. Hold on. All right. The Sacramento Surge are proud to select the Seattle Golden Eagles winner 16.
Very good backup goalie to select at this point. I'm surprised that he went this late. Most of these teams are going to need good backup goalies. And you know, the chance that Vasilevsky's going to miss a game is obviously he's going to be their starter, but you want to slot in somebody that you know can keep your team in games and give them a chance to win. And I think Winner is the perfect candidate for that spot. But looking ahead, we've got the Malibu Marshmallows now on the clock with the 52nd overall pick. Any thoughts, Al, going into this, or are we just kind of going with the flow because these are?
Yeah,
like,
we're kind of just going with the flow. Teams are kind of just picking who they want at this point.
They're kind of just picking, like, you know, this player might have the potential to maybe be the fourth man on my team by the end of the season. But like,
yeah,
realistically, most of these picks at this point, they're just depth pieces. If players can't show, you want to get players you can trust to slot in and replace the players that are missing games.
Luke is ready with the pick. We'll hand it off to him.
All right. With the 52 pick in the BHCL draft, this is a long time coming. I have always wanted this. I pick you.
Wow. There was emotion behind that.
I guess I am going to
Al
the
Fresco,
Malibu Marshmallow.
you sound flustered. Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect to be picked at all, obviously, as, you know, the host, but, you know, I appreciate the pick. You know, I don't know, you guys can elaborate on my skill set and whatnot.
I think that you're a great flex player. You can play every position the team needs, and I think that's something that's valuable to any team that's trying to be a championship contender. Is Ohio's the next pick, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yes. All right, sounds good. We're gonna keep flying. Come on, Packers.
Honestly, a great pick, I'd say. If
Yeah.
he's half as good at playing on the ice as he is at commentating, then this will be a breeze for him.
I appreciate it, Carl.
It's too bad he joined such a failed off of RIP org.
Why is Packers trying to beat up TJF 101? What is going on?
Yeah,
the
got
draft?
some.
Took my pick.
I'm
Little bit of a.
I'm looking at the draft board. That means that Vacuole at Beef was the player that Packers wanted, which is not surprising. They are good. That's not surprising. They are good friends. But you have a backup plan, Packers? Are we ready to go?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right,
Well,
it's all
what pick
yours.
is it?
It is the 54th pick or 53rd pick.
53rd.
My apologies.
All right,
Come on now.
with the 53rd pick, the Ohio Otters select KP football.
Fantastic pick. I'm honestly surprised you dropped this far.
Yeah,
such a good backup goalie. So much potential.
Yeah, I heard so many rumblings of KP football going a little bit earlier than this. Kind of a sneaky pick. I've heard many members of obviously very good status in the BHL saying that he is the next best goalie in this league. I'm surprised he really slipped this far.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it, but it's only been flashes so far. I think that most teams are just not. They don't want to bank on a goalie that hasn't really proven it consistently at the highest level to be somebody that they really trust as like a starting goalie. But I think backup goalie, especially in a league like this, is the perfect position for him to be in because it's going to give him a lot of room to grow and kind of build up himself as a goaltender. And eventually he could jump into that starting role. I'm going to look at who their current starting goalie is. They currently have Bagel Glaze, where that is actually a position where I could see KP football maybe taking that spot if Bagel's kind of underperforming for a stretch, and KP football is doing well enough in practice that he can kind of just jump over him and take that spot.
Yeah.
Yep, go on.
And obviously, you know, this league is a set schedule. You know, if your goalie can't make, your backup's the first player to go right in there. So obviously you can get a spot start here and there.
Yep, for sure.
You look at Ohio Otters roster.
Yeah.
They hire, they get Sammy the Whale. Nobody's too shocked. They get Bagel Glazed as well. It's starting to look like they just want to be the New York Bagels.
That's
I mean,
what
at
I'm
what
thinking.
point? At what point? You know.
Yeah, like it's getting a little too obvious. I don't know. But
All right.
looks like
ohLuvv is
ohLuvv's
ready. Go ahead,
I
ohLuvv.
am ready. I am. All right. First things first. Shout out to KP Football. Fantastic goalie. I was definitely thinking about it, but sadly, I opted with another path. Anyway, to get to my pick, the 54th overall pick in the BHCL draft, the Paris Pigeons are proud to select number 1 from the Huskies of the JBHL, Pearled.
I
Not
love the
surprised
pick.
here. This is not a surprising pick. ohLuvv is a massive Pearl fan. So
I mean, me and ohLuvv both prominent owners in a JBHL team, both with Pearled on our team. Absolutely fantastic pick from the Paris Pigeons. I could not express how good of a pick Pearl is going to be and how bright of a future he has.
100%. But we're gonna get right into the next pick. We're getting towards the very latter end of the draft. The
Almost
popcorn are
there.
now on the board. Yippee!
Dude, it is a rolling process for this. It is hard to consistently get.
Brandon seems to have lost his path to the stage. He's currently running into the curtain.
Yeah.
And while we're watching him walk into the curtain, I want you guys to understand that this is basically what it's going to be pretty parallel to what we're going to see in the regular season for the popcorn. Just aimlessly, just walking around, hoping to God they accidentally do the right thing every once in a while. A broken clock strikes correctly twice is the saying, word for word. And that's really kind of what they're aiming for there at the Nebraska Popcorn camp.
It's embarrassing. We're gonna embarrass the Bagels so hard. This guy might need to like retire from Mr. Beast. It's gonna be bad. So
It's brutal. I mean, I don't know where
Anyways.
that's coming from, but
you and your
Fuck the
team are gonna
popcorn.
die
yeah, no, that's not. We know that's not happening.
in real life.
Moms, fuck the popcorn.
Fuck the popcorn.
Okay. Anyways,
Fuck the
with this pick-
popcorn.
Can we avoid this pick?
Yeah, I'm down.
Excuse
Oh,
me.
dude, he still has a minute 25.
Say aye
Just
to
let him
avoid the pick. Aye.
Aye.
Youppi, can you
Aye.
get these guys off the stage,
Okay,
please?
fine,
Bro,
fine,
just
fine,
make
fine.
your
Go
pick.
for it,
Just
sorry.
make your pick.
Okay. Anyway, as I was trying to say, the popcorn, we had an honorary pick here for W5K, even though we cannot be selected. So instead, we're going to be taking a AAA Blockser.
Another goon. I'd love to see it.
Just wow. I mean, like, I can't really hate on the pick. AAA Blockster is actually a pretty decent player. He's just kind of like he's Trip, you know. Like, I don't really know what else to say.
Hey, I'm just saying, if you're playing the Nebraska Popcorn in the first game of the season, they're starting AAA Blockser.
gonna
Look
say
out.
that.
He is a known first game merchant. He is fantastic in the first game of the season, and then after that, he disappears.
All right, we've got TJF on the board, and I hope that he makes his next 2 picks. This is gonna be his last pick is coming up of the draft. We're going into the 8th round. Thank goodness, finally.
With the 56th overall selection, the Los Angeles Earthquakes are proud to select softies.
Ooh.
Great
Do
pick.
you have your next pick as well?
I do as well. And with the 57th overall pick, we're gonna pick ZCDs.
2 really good picks, actually.
Yeah, really, really good picks for this
Softies,
late in the draft.
Yeah, Softies dropping this far was actually very surprising. I think everybody just kind of forgot about him, honestly. There's no way that like people were like considering him and then like picking some of the players that did go above him.
You know, I didn't forget him, and I was hoping that he was going to fall down to the last pick, so I can go ahead and snag him.
Yeah,
But well done.
true. You were saying that in our team chat, so
Yeah,
I can
saying that down there.
vouch. And the popcorn are back on
Popcorn
the
back-
board for their final pick of the draft. Let's see if they make another pick for another enforcer.
Yeah, it seems like the team identity so far. I wonder if they go with a potential player. They got the Bruisers on this team. Maybe they go for a JBHLer here.
All right, I'm ready for the pick, but I'd like to call up a friend known as JR Requise.
Okay.
I want to call up my friend JR.
Where is he? I got him.
For the viewers at home, that is Discoof Mudgandi. He went to the Nebraska Popcorn in the 5th round.
You can put me up to the stage.
Let's get JR up here. Clap it up.
He is up here.
Yeah, he's here.
I might pick it up, but I'm clapping.
All right, with the 58th overall pick, the Nebraska Popcorn are proud to select my partner in crime, Dicker.
Ooh, another enforcer.
What a pick! What a pick!
That was my pick.
And Diego is off the board.
That is a quite the bench there for the Nebraska Popcorn. I'm sure there is going to be some harsh things said from that team bench. Ooh. You don't want to mess around with Nebraska.
That team is not going to be afraid to throw hands if things aren't going their way, which is probably going to happen pretty often.
Just consistently not going the right way.
ohLuvv, go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, sorry guys, didn't know you were passing the mic to me. I was tabbed out. All right, to wrap up the BHCL inaugural season draft. For the 59th overall pick, the Paris Pigeons are proud to select my little brother, ohLuvv.
Yeah,
that's not even just because he was his brother. Like, that's just a great pick at this point, regardless.
Yeah, I mean, ohLuvv is like a top line minors player. Falling all the way to the 8th round. That's a solid pick. Obviously, the connection between brothers as well. Super nice to have on the team as well.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna get right back into the Ohio Otters for their next pick.
Packers last pick.
I'm here, man.
Yes, let's go.
I'm ready.
All right.
What pick is it?
It is the 60th pick.
60th. All right.
Very uncomfortably bad roster so far. I'm sure it's really setting in that you're gonna have to make a really good pick here.
Yeah, don't worry, I will, man. This is gonna be the best pick of the draft, actually.
Ooh.
Okay. With the 60th overall pick of the draft, the Ohio Otters select the dog himself, Doggin. Oh yeah.
I wouldn't.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we've now heard of the pick of the draft. We have Doggin coming in at number 60 for the Ohio Otters, also known as New York Bagels B team. Congratulations, Doggin.
Yeah, I'm surprised Doggin going that early. I guess some connections down the line in the team. He is a JVHL superstar. Obviously not, a top 5 superstar in the league, but definitely quality talent.
Guys, I will say Doggin played about 5 seconds in the non-HL finals. He has a 37.5 points per 15 with 1 goal in those 5 seconds. So you never know.
All right, Luke, go ahead. It is all yours.
All right. So as I've said before, the Malibu Marshmallows, we're trying something different. We're taking risk, and you can't take risk if you don't have the vision. So, with the 61 pick and the last one for the Malibu Marshmallows, I am proud to select Vision.
Another JVHLer, another great pick there. Oakland Ram as well. I'm of course biased myself as I am the team owner for that team, but
blended pick.
Bunch of frauds.
And the Surge are back up for their final pick of the draft. Will Wally Bear come up this time, or is he gonna keep ducking smoke?
We'll see. We'll see. Find out next time.
Oh wow, I was already up here. Okay. Sacramento Surge are proud to select Snippies.
Oh wow.
It's a Make-A-Wish pick.
That's a pick. Yeah. I mean, you can definitely pick him. That's an option. All right, let's just go to the next pick then. Blizzard on the clock.
Oh my god. Wait, you forgot to play their highlight reel.
Dude, we might have to go into the
have
filing cabinet for that
on
one.
the clock.
That one might be buried in the filing
Akuzo
cabinet.
is on his way. Let's get it going, Akuzo.
All right, Akuzo, all yours.
With the 63rd pick of the BHCL draft, BRB are proud to select and this may be quite a shocker. OP 2017.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna take my. I thought you were taking my guy. Good
Yuppie
pick,
got
good
worried.
pick.
Yuppie got worried that it.
Dude, I thought he meant OPAC.
No, but Orange Panda 2017, a solid backup goaltender there for the Blue Ridge Blizzard. Nothing more to say about that. And finally, with our last pick of the draft, we have Carl and Yuppie capping us off.
All right.
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah, Carl, I feel like I really need to take this one. This one's personal.
Absolutely, please do. Before you do, since I already know who you're about to say, can I give it a little preface?
Yeah.
This is the 64th pick of the draft. Okay, the final pick, number 64, holds a lot of weight. You have the Nintendo 64, one of the best-selling video game consoles of all time. You have Mario 64, iconic 3D platformer that changed the game. And in many ways, this might change the game as well. For the 64th pick, go for it, Youppi.
We are picking the greatest player of all time. I've never laid my eyes on someone better than this. OPAC from the Toronto Menace. He just won the non-NHL championship. Mayhem.
Wrong
Whatever.
team. Mayhem.
He's the team. It doesn't matter. He is the team. The GOAT.
Mr. Irrelevant here in the draft, but
yeah, he's about to be real relevant.
He's about to be relevant. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant in the NFL draft a couple years ago. Look where he is now. He's standing in the Super Bowl 1 week from now. So that'll do it for the draft. Do we have any other comments? I know it's been quite a long show, but any summary, any thoughts?
I mean, I think that over the coming days, I mean, we have matches in literally 3 days from now. So yeah. I mean, all of our questions are going to be answered soon enough. There won't be much time to wait. I don't know if there's really anything to talk about. Carl, do you want to say anything to the people before we call it a night?
Thanks everybody for being a part of it. Bits aside, thanks everybody for letting us step in, us as like streamers and stuff, because I found this all on a TikTok live stream, and I thought it was one really funny. And also just really cool, and I liked how into it everybody was. And ever since I saw it and joined the Discord and got really into it, I knew that we had to do something together. So I'm really excited for the season.
Yeah, thank you, Carl. We really appreciate the opportunity you have given us. But with that, we will conclude the BHCL entry draft. Thank you to everyone who showed out. We will have matches on Friday. I think we might have something before the game around 6:30 EST, but matches do start at 7. Obviously, that matinee matchup with the New York Bagels and the Blue Ridge Blizzard leading things off. I've been Alfresco. Alongside me has been the BHL Commissioner Youppi. Carl Jacobs has been in here quite a lot as well. We say goodnight.